I got bitches.
Hey everybody, welcome to bonus content. I am Alex, Scott, Tony, Nobshin are here. Our guest Max Roberts is here. How's life, guys? Typically I come in here with something loaded into the ammunition slot of my brain, but I got nothing today. How's life, Max? What's up, man?
I finished sealing up all my wedding invitations today.
Congratulations. Did I get an invite? I'm just asking.
All of you are invited.
Awesome.
Sure, I've only met 3 of you just now, but you're all invited.
Absolutely. I mean, that's what it's all about. Making connections in life.
Networking, as some would say.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I did those. There's like 95 of them right back there above my thumb.
So is 95 people like a big wedding?
Well, that's 95 invitations. Those people, some are families, so they have more people. And then some people get plus ones that have boyfriends or girlfriends or married people. So
okay. Is it gonna be a party is what I'm asking.
It's gonna be lit, as the kids would say.
Okay. I'm excited. You when did you get engaged? What, like
January?
Earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Out there making moves, proposing to people.
Just one person.
Yeah, well,
people until someone says yes.
I mean, it's only creepy, and if they say no.
Exactly. If they say yes, it's like sweet. It's a romantic moment. Well, congratulations again.
Well,
Even though I
you.
talked shit on you on your podcast that you weren't on because you were getting proposed.
I do. I remember that. I remember hearing that. It's like, who's this Max guy getting proposed?
Getting all those proposals. When is it? Do you have a date in mind?
Yes, October 20th. A week before Mario Odyssey, Assassin's Creed, and Wolfenstein 2.
So you got
I will be
nice
on a
little
cruise
honeymoon.
ship when those games come out.
Oh, great. So you're torturing yourself is what you're doing.
Hey, I didn't know those games were coming out that day. I want to move the wedding up a week.
No, I mean, you'll have more fun during your honeymoon than you will playing Mario Odyssey. I will lie to you right now and tell you that, just so that you feel better about your decisions.
I believe you'll be right. Those games will be there when I get back.
Exactly, they're not going anywhere. But you know, once in a lifetime experience.
I am a little bit bummed that Mario comes out the week after my wedding because I don't get those cool Mario and Peach wedding cake toppers.
Oh, true.
AKA Amiibo.
Yeah, those would be perfect.
I thought about because we already were going to use a Mario and Peach Amiibo. Like that was already going to happen. And then they announced these wedding kind. I was like, these are perfect. So now I want to like write them a letter and be like, give me your Amiibo.
Make
Please.
a Dream Foundation. Hit up Nintendo. Be like, listen, we were going to do this already, but you could make it better. You could do that.
I think they could.
I don't know. You know what? That's actually worth a shot because Nintendo does weird.
I have a friend. He's 14. I don't know how old he was when he wrote him a letter, though. He wrote him a letter about an idea he had for a game, which was basically a Pokemon clone.
Nice.
And they wrote him back and said, "Hey, we don't take ideas, but here's some cool stuff." And they gave him like a little goodies, and it was cool. So I think if I just write them a letter, they'll send me Amiibo a week early. I mean, they sit in stores anyway until then, so
just
no harm, no foul.
Put a $50 bill in the envelope. And be like, you know what you need to do.
Maybe I could buy that Mario Monopoly set from GameStop and take the Mario money out of there and then put that in the envelope.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like a bit joke.
Mm-hmm. They'll appreciate it.
Yeah. It's all about winning over your uncle that works at Nintendo.
It's always about the uncle that works at Nintendo.
I mean, getting married and proposing the same year, bold move. So props to you.
Going for the platinum trophy.
Absolutely, it's a speed run move. It's a speed run maneuver.
You'll see me at AGDQ this year.
Yo, check out my wedding plans.
Boom.
Giving wedding planning advice to all the local speedrunners. No, that's cool. Congrats again.
Well, thanks.
Excited for you.
Oh,
Absolutely. Anything else you getting up to, Max? Are you still in school?
Nope. Graduated in May.
Yeah.
That was what I did the May. I've been looking for a job. That's
Mhm.
normal stuff. I just beat Wolfenstein for the first time, New Order.
Okay. Excited to talk about that later.
Yep.
Curious.
What else is going on?
You've attempted to come on Irrational Passions podcast at least 3 different times.
Yes, this particular episode has been 3 weeks planned now? 3-4 weeks?
That's like not too abnormal for guests on this show though. Just because I like to have it organized ahead of time.
Yeah, but with the track record of trying to be on 3 times.
Yeah, that had me concerned. I was going to message you yesterday, and then you messaged me, and I was like, all right, yeah,
I got a funny story about that.
hit me up.
So I messaged you midday, whatever, and then later I was at Abby's house, my fiance, and I was messing with her, tickling her, which just sounds as adorable as it is.
Yeah, I got it.
And then all of a sudden your message pops up on my Apple Watch. And she looks over and we both pause to read it. And then she sees the little microphone icon and she tries to tap it to say help. And she goes, help. And I just lost it. And we were cracking up for like 5 minutes about how she tried to reach out to you for help.
You know what? If I had gotten a help DM on Twitter, I would have been there.
Oh, you would have flown right away down here to Florida.
But it would have been under the pretense that I'd be coming to help you.
Exactly. You wouldn't even have known the situation.
Yeah.
All she had was help.
It would have been quite the topsy-turvy on me. Yeah, no, we made it happen. I told you I would.
You
was
did
just
make it happen.
A matter of planning and not asking you 3 days beforehand, hey, do you want to do this?
Yeah, that's the way that works.
Scott, how's your week been, man?
Pretty boring.
Oh, boring week.
And by pretty boring, I mean I don't remember what I did this week.
I think it was boring. Whatever I did, it wasn't that interesting.
Yep.
I mean, like, you're enjoying your summer, right? Like, summer
Yeah, that's the thing I'm
vacation.
doing.
Yeah. You finally are, like, not going to school every day for once, like, for multiple weeks in a row.
Yep.
So I'm just glad you're not out there, like, fucking tired of shit all the time. All right. Pretty boring. I'll settle for pretty boring. I can't have you bring it every day. Something that I've never done in the summertime before is like get really into grilling. But my roommate Ethan bought a grill, and my brother is like been using it the most. Like they both use it, but they've been using it a ton. So we've just been like grilling every weekend.
Just gonna get real into it. Just like I live for this grill.
I mean, like my brother bought multiple grill-based accessories today.
Uh-huh.
Because he is like a time when he can like go out and get stuff, and he bought multiple grill-based accessories. Let me see. He got like a little chimney thing for.
Did you guys name the grill yet?
Oh shit, we haven't. We should.
Every grill needs a name, just like cars.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
My car does have a name. He bought like a little chimney for charcoal.
Oh, yeah, I know
Charcoal
exactly
scrub.
what you're talking about.
Yeah. And like a scrub thing for the grill, and a grilling thermometer and timer. And then like one of those gloves that you can wear, like a pair of gloves that are heat resistant up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, apparently. So hopefully his arm won't catch on fire again.
Again?
It didn't actually happen, but that's what we joked about in our thread. So yeah, I don't know. Like I've never like I haven't used the grill because I'm too afraid to hurt myself grilling. I'm no grill master supreme, but I don't know. I was just curious. Tony, are you into the grills? You grilled before. I've seen you grill.
I'm in the grills, one might say.
Yeah.
Do you have a grill? Both the kind you grill on and the one in your mouth?
Question. Question.
We were gonna buy a grill for the 4th of July, but we decided to not buy one instead. So while we have gas hookups, we don't have a grill.
Great.
Okay, so my answer to that question is I do have both, but I just stick the grill that you put outside in my mouth.
I love it.
That's really two birds with one stone there.
It's efficient.
It's funny because my roommate Ethan does have a grill.
Most people just call it gross.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing about grills, right? Like, when you cook on one, you have to do that outside, and it's really hot here.
Oh, true.
Because who's gonna put a grill inside? You know?
Serial killers and psychopaths, probably.
Yeah, that's just something you don't do.
What you could get, like, you could do a grill inside and like get one of those big ventilation shafts sucking up all the smokes. So
Yeah,
get a smokestack for your house.
yeah, it seems like definitely less effort than going outside.
I mean, it's hot outside, Tony. I'm trying to help you out on this one.
But grills are also hot, so like if I used a grill inside, I feel like the inside would become outside.
All right, your logic is definitely overtaking mine now. I see what you're saying. I respect this. What about you, Nabishin? Did you get up to anything this week?
No, it's just been work.
What's your experience with grills? Have you listened to the song "Grills" by Nelly?
I don't think I have.
Really? That's like a secret 2007 banger that me and Ethan love. Let me see your grills. Let you see my what? Yo, your grills. Yo, yo,
It's
your
such a
grills.
bad fucking song.
Paul Wall's on it, dude. Like, we could talk about the song "Grills" all day. Did you get up to anything this week, Tony?
Well, I discovered a new delicious rap song,
Yeah.
and I think that's pretty much the highlight of my week.
Really? Is that the highlight?
Yeah, that's the highlight, and
I
know
mean-
it's a highlight.
I mean, it's the highlight of mine, and I just learned about it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I guess. Like,
Y'all had shitty weeks.
yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Scott's week was boring, but his week was still better than that song.
No, that song is straight fire.
It's something for sure. There's a lot of like talk about balls in that song.
I mean, at least people still know how to kill things with fire.
Yeah, exactly. Burn. Outside of grilling, so like, I've been getting into like the Game of Thrones grill. We like grill and watch Game of Thrones together.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah,
Grill of Thrones.
Grill of Thrones. Especially this last week.
Oh, yeah.
A good excuse to break out the grill. We did not grill this last week though. We ordered just a feast of Chinese food.
That sounds lit.
And it was fucking great. I tell you what.
I've been on a Panda Express kick lately, and I always get Panda Express every Sunday before Game of Thrones right now. It's like 3-4 weeks in a row.
I thought you were gonna say every Sunday before church, and I was like, that's a man who has his priorities straight.
Exactly. The two things I love most in the world: God and Panda Express.
And orange chicken.
That orange chicken is... They sell the orange chicken sauce right by the register now.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm tempted.
You should buy the sauce, Alex, and then grill with it.
Ooh, fuck. Become a sauce boss, if I may.
You may not.
Okay.
I gave you permission.
I'm getting mixed signals. No, I like the grilling, the Game of Thrones, the working. I'm trying to think like I don't typically do too many interesting things in my week, but this week was especially difficult because like I had $0 to my name for most of it.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah. So I was like eating ramen and mini frozen pizzas and trying not to leave my house so I don't spend money. But now I have like all this money. So I got paid yesterday and I'm like, oh God, I can't spend it. Don't ever be like that again. But I did get a Chipotle burrito bowl.
I knew you would.
Absolutely. How could
I thought about
resist?
getting Chipotle today.
Yeah. I mean, on my payday, I typically get Chipotle. Payday Chipotle. Kind of rhymes.
Kind of rhymes. You could, if you were a rapper, you could make that work.
I'd have to work the word balls into it at least 6 more times, though,
It all works out.
as per Tony's recommendation. But yeah, I guess it's a not a lot of things to do all around week for everybody, but we can talk about what we've been watching, which Nabishin he's got me on this. You got me on this kick, Nabishin, and I'm into it. I'm curious, Max. Do you watch Anime.
The only anime I've ever watched and sat through is Dragon Ball Z.
Okay.
I tried Attack on Titan and
Sure.
gave up. I was like, this is lame. And apparently I stopped right before it got good. But I'm not a fan of TV shows where you have to watch like 6, 7 episodes for it to get good.
So most anime.
Most,
Got
I
it.
guess. I remember as a kid, I would watch like the Beyblade TV show, some Yu-Gi-Oh. Get a
Okay.
little that's beyond that. That's Avatar: Last Airbender is my favorite TV show, but some would argue that is not anime or is anime, depending on your crowd.
I feel like you're in the right crowd here.
Okay,
Like,
so that's about the extent of my anime. I love Dragon Ball Z though. I
yeah,
love it.
well, who doesn't love Dragon Ball Z?
Communists?
That'd be me.
Communists and Scott Guthier. Oh, I didn't ask Scott.
I thought we were just lumping us together.
Yeah, well, I don't want to lump you in.
Who do you think's their leader?
Yeah, Scott, secret communist leader. Scott Marxist. Scott, I forgot to ask. Yesterday was your birthday. Happy birthday again.
He said his week was
Hooray.
boring.
Yeah, did you do anything on your birthday?
He doesn't remember it.
Exactly.
So that either
See,
was a
this
really
could either
good
be a
birthday
very
or it
good
was really
thing or a
lame.
very bad thing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like it could go either way. I don't know. I didn't know if like saying birthday out loud would trigger your memory and like bring something back for you.
It's like an amnesia victim.
Exactly. I forgot my
Yeah,
week.
sorry. No, it didn't.
What did you remember what you ate for your birthday? Your birthday dinner.
I remember the cake because I had it today.
All right. That's all I needed. I just want to make sure you got some cake, you got some good food.
Yep, it was cookie cake, as in a
It
cake
was.
like cookie.
Yeah. That
That's
sounds great.
lit.
Shit, man. I want some cake.
I want some cookie cake now.
I could fuck up an entire cookie cake. I'm not gonna lie to any of you right now. What do you watch on the reg then, Max? I'm just curious.
Well, right now it's Game of Thrones. Like kind of most of the TV shows I've been watching lately have kind of wrapped up. Better Call Saul. I was watching Prison Break there for a while. I'm a Walking Dead guy. Even though I know the show is bad, I still watch it. I have a group of people I've been watching with since the beginning. We watch every Sunday when it's on.
At least you know it's bad. Like,
Oh, I'm under no illusions.
okay, good.
Don't worry.
When it got bad, I was like, I'm gonna stop watching this show now, and I feel like
I go for the people.
okay.
I go for the people.
Okay.
I've watched half of Fargo season 3.
I watched
Right
half
now,
of
right now
Fargo
I'm on a
season one.
Friends kick. Right now I'm on a
Okay.
Friends kick.
Okay.
Like halfway through that.
Just the whole show.
Yeah, just going through it. I stopped in season 3 and now I picked it back up because it's easy. It's easy to kind of put on and just
Space out.
let it go. Yeah.
Grab your Switch and just get lost in the trance that is Mario Kart.
I'm a terrible multitasker. I can't watch TV, like have TV on and play a game, or listen to a podcast and play a game. I can't. It drives me nuts. I have to focus on what I'm doing.
It depends for me, but I usually am good with playing games and listening to podcasts. They're definitely
I could do it maybe if I was playing like Forza,
okay.
because that's just a driving game.
Yeah, so you're like you could pretend it's on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. There are podcast games for sure. We have a category for it in our Game of the Year show.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. The
That
best
sounds-
game to play while you're listening to Irrational Passions podcast, I believe is the
Shameless plug.
well, it's our Game of the Year awards, so Nobshin comes up with them. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with them. So
Apparently.
listen, I haven't looked at the new list yet, but I'm excited. Just going off that one comment. What you been watching, Nobshin? Anything new?
For the most part, not really. Well, I guess just a few minutes ago, I've been watching Lego Batman again. It was like on sale for Amazon for like $10. So
Still
I'll
good?
oh yeah, it still holds up great. Like the whole theme about that movie being about relationships is really good. I feel. And where you could probably where I can see like an opinion saying like the Lego movies like reveal was like it's a little bit too left field. Not too left field because like it makes sense in that world, but you know, it was like if you wanted to stay in that world, I kind of took you out of that world. This was to stay pretty much in that world with those characters. So like it flows a little bit better with me. Lego movie is a better movie, I feel, but like I still enjoy Lego Batman like a great deal.
Okay.
And like the only other thing I've really seen this week is I guess I should mention no, I didn't watch anything this week.
Okay.
I've been playing Persona 5 all week. But like I did take the time to see the Red Letter Media review of Ghostbusters 2016.
Mr. Plinkett.
Yeah. I enjoy those reviews. Like they're good fun and everything like that. This one in particular was a little bit more mean spirited than I usually like, but like it's still got its funny moments and it has its points. And you know, and I haven't seen the movie yet, obviously, so I can't really like say I agree or disagree with it. But it, like the way that the movie came across for me, like through the previews and like trailers and stuff like that, it's like it's the reason why I don't really go see movies lately. Is just because like you know, it's like modern comedies aren't really clicking with me. Like I get enjoyment and stuff like that, Lego Batman, but like I can't really get enjoyment of like modern comedies for whatever reason. But that's just me though. That's my own struggles. But like yeah, but like speaking of movies this year, like I will say this like been a great year of movies as far as like entertainment for me. Like obviously I've been caught in Fast and Furious this year, so I saw Fast 8. Get Out, I saw that when I flew to Kind of Funny. That's still probably like my favorite movie this year.
I love that movie.
Yeah. I saw La La Land, but that was last year. But that was a great movie as well. But yeah, Wonder Woman and all that other stuff. So like, yeah, it's been like a stellar year for movies for me. So like, I've been enjoying it.
Thor. I'm trying to decide. I'm gonna wait to watch Thor 3 so that we can watch it together. I've decided.
During Extra Life?
Yeah. So Thor 3 comes out the weekend before Extra Life.
Oh shit!
Extra Life. So I will wait, and we'll get like an Extra Life party together, and we will go see Thor 3 as well.
Hey, it's just like we did last year.
Yeah. So
what was
This
last
time,
year?
tell
Was
me what
Doctor
happens,
was
'cause
Doctor
I was-
Strange last year?
Doctor Strange was last year. So
Yeah.
Because I was real upset when I missed it.
Yeah, you're not missing it this time, Scott. Fucking dude, Thor 3 is gonna be so good. I believe.
I
I
mean,
never
it's-
believed in anything.
It's basically Guardians of the Galaxy 3,
Well,
just with Thor.
but
and
like
Hulk.
it has Thor in it, and I love Thor so much.
His hair is just so good.
Oh,
they cut
when
it
they gave
off.
him that haircut, it was
It hurt me, but guess what? Chris Hemsworth still really hot.
oh, he's a gorgeous man. I joke with Abby; she has a huge crush on Chris Pine,
Oh, okay.
Chris Pratt,
Okay.
Chris Evans,
Mm-hmm.
and I throw Chris Hemsworth in there, so I can just say she has a crush on 4 Chris's.
Okay. 4 Chris's and a Max sounds like the name of a podcast. Or
I just need to reach out to all of their agents. Let's get it
4
going.
4 Chris's to the max. How about that?
If I ever meet each of them, I will propose this idea to them. I'm sure they all know each other, especially Chris Evans and Chris Hemsworth. They work together.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll be great. And Chris Pratt, he works with them. He's a Marvel guy. The only one, Chris Pine, he's off in DC land.
It's all right. We'll pull him in.
We can get him in there.
He's off in Star Trek world as well.
Star Trek World's a good world.
I think so. I feel so. I watched that My Hero Academia episode 29. What's it? The hero killer Stain versus UA student. And I did not expect a certain someone to show up just at some point. I might have lost my fucking mind.
Blah, blah, blah. I have no idea what you're talking about.
That was that show's really good. So there's a new episode out now as well, and
That show's so delicate.
I'm just so excited to watch it.
Give me the elevator pitch. I've seen you and some other people tweeting about that show.
All right, world full of people born with superpowers, right?
Okay.
We're following the one guy that wasn't born with superpowers.
It's like Sky High.
Oh my god! If I gotta hear another fucking Sky High comparison.
Frank, are you here?
Yeah, as he just comes out from behind my couch like, I
Like,
gotcha.
Kool-Aid Sky High. This is my signal.
I knew. I heard it calling.
I mean,
yes,
it also could be like The Incredibles with Jack until the end. He had no powers. He was a normal baby.
yeah, and then he had like all the powers, like 12 of them.
Shapeshifting.
And so we follow the one character that doesn't have it, and he essentially becomes the protege of the greatest hero in the world. And things kind of go from there. Which is the greatest hero in the world. All Might is his personal favorite hero as well, as is I'm sure many. So I don't know, it's heartwarming.
I like the elevator pitch.
Yeah, it hits all the. Did I do good, Naoshin? I feel like that sums it up pretty well. It's heartwarming. It's got like a lot of emotion. I think that was like the thing you conveyed to me the most, Naoshin. And it took me. I'll say it took me a while. It wasn't until about halfway into season 2, or like so many episodes into season 2, where like I was like really emotionally invested in it. But like once I got there, I was just floored. And now I'm like all in, honestly. So it's more like you've not watched Naruto, I assume, but it's more like closer to that because like there's all these characters that have all these stories that you care about and they're all intertwined. But it's kind of like the earlier days of that. But I also really love that show. So.
Would you agree with the opinion of like the first 2 episodes like pretty much encapsulate what that series is, in your opinion, Alex?
Yeah, I definitely agree with it. I would say like that didn't get me hooked in personally,
right.
But like I think that gives you a really good impression of like what you're getting yourself into. Because like by the end of that second episode, you kind of see like, oh, this is what they're going to do with the main character and like what he'll be able to do, or at least where he's going to go on his journey. So
yeah, and I feel like by the ending of the second episode, it was just like they let that scene play out for probably longer than he should have. No, because like that got me like really good because of how long they dragged it out.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like it really got me emotionally. Like I said, 2017 has been a very emotional year for me. And like that was pretty much like the header of that is just like something that's like that really got to me, and it's something I just got so fucking into just because of that.
Yeah, no, I don't think they drew it out too long either. I think they gave it the gravitas that it deserved,
mm-hmm.
and it's good. It's cool too. I don't know, Max, in your anime experience, if you have a preference over dub or sub.
I'm the subbed variety, which I know is probably a Cardinals. No, wait. Whatever, when they speak English. So
okay,
yeah, speak English.
Weird.
Yeah, so that's dubbed. No, yeah. Which my roommate says is a sin. He's like, it's gotta be
that's
subbed.
what most people say anyway. I'm a dub person.
Dubbed, yes. I like it when they speak my language.
Yeah, I was just surprised. It was like I just watched Dragon Ball Z and like I only watched it in Japanese. Like, oh, okay, that's weird.
I'm hardcore.
Yeah.
Back there somewhere is the manga. I do have the DBZ manga as well.
Oh, cool. I've never actually read the DBZ manga, but I imagine
it's basically it's just the show without the fluff. So you don't get Goku trying to get his driver's license. You just get the show, like the good stuff.
Yo, but Goku
Great
get
episode.
his driver's license.
Great episode.
Man, I forgot about that until just this moment.
It's so good. But he's in his Hawaiian shirt.
Yep. So Funimation has this cool thing that they do where it like they do a simuldub to kind of compete with like Crunchyroll simulcast. So they're like dubbing it as the show is airing in Japan and releasing those episodes, as opposed to like holding them to do a full season run in English in America. So like I am 2 weeks behind the Japanese airing right now, so which is cool. So if you like dubbing, there's a way to watch My Hero Academia in that way, and you can watch the first 2 episodes for free. So they're also on Hulu. The first, I think, 8 episodes in dub are on Hulu now. So
you know what other show I just started? Now that you said seasons and like watching it online, I don't know. Rick and Morty. I just started that.
Okay. Scott's a big fan.
I've heard.
Yeah, you done fucked up real hard. You know how fucking late you are?
Yeah.
I'm disappointed.
I was gonna say I feel like I'm maybe 3 seasons behind,
Late to the
2.5
party.
maybe. I finished season 1 and I watched the first episode of season 2 yesterday.
No, I respect the Rick and Morty grind. It's like me and my brother watch Game of Thrones, and then Ethan and our friend Roman, who comes over to watch Game of Thrones as well, they watch Rick and Morty afterwards. So.
And you don't fucking sit there and watch it with you fucking
I
dirty little fucking bastard.
as soon as Game of Thrones is over, I'm like, I'm done. I'm gonna go play Overwatch now, or finish Sunday chats, whichever I need to do first. So, yeah, I'm sorry, Scott. How is Rick and Morty season 3? That's started now, right?
There's
Yeah, it's good.
3 episodes in, I think.
Good.
Pickle Rick's a thing. I don't know what exactly that means, but he's around.
Yeah, Rick turns into a pickle. Pickle Rick.
All right, I can get down with pickles.
Exactly what it sounds like.
Tony, did you watch anything good?
I love that show.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it was really good, that show. No, actually, I don't know if I watched anything on TV this week.
All right. Defenders comes out next Friday, so I'm definitely gonna do that.
Oh,
Defenders of what?
Defenders, the Netflix series with Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Where are you at with this, Max? You hurt me over here.
Could you sigh any louder?
Yeah, could you sigh harder for me, please?
I could try. I love Daredevil season 1 and the first half of season 2.
Okay.
Could not get into Jessica Jones.
Okay.
Didn't get into Luke Cage.
Okay.
I heard Iron Fist was so terrible, I didn't even try.
Iron Fist, I'll say, is not so terrible, but it is just flat out bad.
I saw that scene that had 60-something cuts within 30 seconds. I was like, ooh. So I'm not looking forward to Defenders at all, because what I am looking forward to is Punisher.
Okay.
Because that was the good half of Daredevil season 2.
Okay.
And I'm cautiously optimistic for Daredevil season 3.
I liked Daredevil season 1, and I liked Daredevil season 2 more, probably.
I just thought the second half was too mushy-gushy and out of character for him.
I liked it. But, I like that. Give me some mushy-gushy shit.
I like mushy-gushy when it makes sense within the world. I just thought it was kind of weird for him to be torn between 2 people, and he clearly should have just been with, I forget her name, but his partner, his friend, the blonde girl.
Yeah.
I don't know, the whole Elektra thing just rubbed me the wrong way.
Yeah, I mean, from what I understand, people's problem with that half of the season was Elektra, for the most part. So, Jessica Jones is my favorite Marvel anything, probably. It was very much up my alley. Luke Cage, I feel like, is the best of the shows in quality-wise, but it is not my favorite. I just like it a great deal. And Iron Fist was bad, so...
That's what I heard. So I don't have high hopes for Defenders.
I do. I got my fingers crossed. See all those kids out there fighting in the Hell's Kitchen. We'll see.
That delicious kitchen.
That delicious kitchen
With Gordon Ramsay.
I think
Yeah,
that
man.
wraps it up.
The delicious man.
For bonus content. Unless anyone has anything else.
I have a quick question for Nabishin.
Sure.
Yes.
Is that picture that I'm seeing right now, is that you with Yoko Shimura in
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yes.
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Jesus.
So you were at the orchestra?
Yeah, I went there. Took a bus to New York to do that.
How was it?
It was too much. It was a lot of things and everything.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
It was a lot for me.
I wish it was coming to Orlando. We had this big, beautiful theater, and it should come here. Oh, that was
And
awesome.
I had to buy that ticket a year before, a year ago. It was right before Kind of Funny Live 2.
Mhm.
And I had to buy the tickets for that. So that was I just had to work constantly because I had to get the VIP tickets. So
Oh,
it was
yeah.
the whole thing, so
I would have done the exact same thing. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Your choice in Kingdom Hearts games to bring, maybe, but I'm glad you got to go.
Oh, we got a Kingdom Hearts 1 motherfucker on this show. somewhere.
I mean,
somewhere.
my
Scott's
favorite
gonna
is Birth by Sleep, but if we're just talking the PS2 games, I guess I have to go with 1 over 2.
be. Okay.
Okay.
Namish and I are Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix people.
My only gripe with Kingdom Hearts 2
Here we go.
is the combat.
There wasn't a dodge roll.
There was no dodge roll.
I mean, yeah, I guess that's a big.
I've got good news for you. Final Mix fixes everything.
All right,
No,
listen.
it's the combat, like the magic system. I think it's too easy. You just hit square. It's almost like God of War. You mash square and then hit triangle when it tells you to. I think it took some of the strategy out of it. I think the magic system in 1 had more strategy involved with it, where it was in chunks.
Scott Guthier, how vindicated do you feel right now?
So much. Although, I'm of a different opinion on the magic system.
Yeah.
I think they gutted the magic system to death and made magic pretty much unusable in 2.
The only reason I ever used magic in 2 was Kiriga. That was it. One more time.
Yeah, it's other than that, it was basically your heal.
That's all it did. My personal favorite Kingdom Hearts combat system is, I guess Dream Drop Distance does it best. It's the decks, like building those command decks, and then having the cooldowns on each move. I think that's the best way. And I'm sad that 3 looks like Kingdom Hearts 2. So, sniffles.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't mind the
That's
command
nice.
system as much. It was really that what you were allowed to do with magic system in 1 is that there was a bunch of different charges for your bars.
Mhm.
So if you wanted to have a magic build, you could pretty much continuously use magic and just magic. In 2, you can't do that without having a good downtime of just running away
Just
or having
running.
to switch to your blade.
There you go. Max,
My-
Scott, I brought you two together for this sole purpose.
No, you didn't.
I know, but I'm glad that Scott now has someone in a similar campus at least.
My Kingdom Hearts shelf down there.
All right, we're done, Tony. I promise we're done.
So while we're on the topic of Kingdom Hearts,
Here we go.
I had the absolute pleasure of indulging in Giant Bomb's new series, Kingdom Heartbreak, this past week.
Yeah.
See, you did watch something.
Yeah, I know. I had purged it from my mind, but here we are. Turns out, Kingdom Hearts is a really shitty game, and Giant Bomb people have just kind of reinforced that for me.
It's a magical game.
It's actual garbage.
I haven't watched that series, but I'm excited to.
It's the only reason why I'm watching it is because I like the Giant Bomb people, but God, they picked a bad game to play.
Tony's just a hater, man.
The best game to play.
Sorry, man. When we spin off and do our Kingdom Hearts hypecast, you don't have to be a part of it, okay?
Yeah, I mean, you can. I'll sit out.
I'll take a spot.
I'll take the fall so that
Add another
others
name to the list.
may rise.
How big is the list?
I don't know. I feel like this is what Justin, Danny, Nabish and me, Scott, and now you.
Guys, Kingdom Hearts 3 is supposed to come out next year. Do we believe it?
We talked about this for long enough. Yes and no. There's your answer.
Good, we have the same answer.
All right. Do you guys want to get Audacity ready? Everything?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm down.
I'm gonna
Yep.
I'm gonna refill my water real quick.
I was gonna help record, and then I was gonna go get some water myself.
Yeah. So, go for it. I'll be right back.
All right.
Ooh.
Woo!
Woo!
See if this audio sounds good. Cool. Good. Were you on the Persona bandwagon, Max? I forget.
What do you mean by Persona bandwagon? Like, did I play Persona 5?
Persona 4, Persona 5.
I played Persona 4 on Vita till I feel like I have 5. Is it Risei?
Yeah.
That's the
Risei
last
would
person I
be,
got.
one of the characters.
That's the last person I saved. I'm in the Pyramid in 5, about 40 hours in.
Okay.
I haven't finished either of them, but
Good to know. Just because that way we'll talk about it, I'm sure. Be
Persona comes up
conscientious.
quite a bit, I'm sure, on your podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Is this let's talk about video games we've been playing? Is that what that is?
Yeah. And if you have anything from recent weeks that you'd like to chime in about, maybe not immediately this week, feel free to add it to the list.
Hooyo.
I like the look of the game shelf. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, probably half the games are on the system themselves, but you gotta look, you gotta try. Remember. I think that's it. Really, what's happened lately.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. All right. Let's do this. I'm going to count down from 5 to 1, and then on 1, we'll all hit the record button together.
Sounds
Not
beautiful.
Not on go, on 1.
3 or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Click.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yep. All right, everybody ready? Scott, Tony, you guys ready? Scott?
I'm ready.
Okay. On 1. 5, 4, 3,
I did it.
2, 1.
Mhm.
Scott.
That did throw me for a loop there, actually, Scott.
Mission accomplished. That's all Scott has ever wanted. Oh gosh. Oh, my phone's falling. All right. I'm ready. I'm emotionally ready.
Are you physically ready?
That's always like
He's never physically ready.
that's always like a crapshoot on that one. I can tell Namishin's getting his intro ready. I'm very excited. All right. Should I give you like a long lead, Namishin?
Oh, no. It won't take that long. It's maybe
Okay.
like 15, 20 seconds.
Okay. Oh, only half of a minute. All right, I'm ready. It is Saturday, August 12th, 2017, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill, and joining me this week is Scott Guthier.
Hello.
Tony Horvath.
Hello.
Brian Nobishin Jackson.
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of Harvard Business School. I traveled quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, had a great time with that. And I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact they talk to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified? All right.
And joining us this week is our special guest, Max Roberts, as well.
Yes, you are qualified, Nabishin.
Hey, Max, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Welcome to Irrational Passions podcast. To new listeners, I'm sorry. To old listeners, hey, welcome back. We got a good show lined up. First, I kind of want to kick this off, Max. I've been trying to get you on the show for multiple weeks in a row. I had some questions, Max. You're doing stuff on the internet. You have kind of like a league of gentlemen, of extraordinary gentlemen.
I don't know about extraordinary, but yes, there's a league of gentlemen.
Yeah, so you are a host on the podcast Millennial Gaming Speak, and Logan Moore is your co-host there. He's been on the show before, and he was on our Game of the Year content for last year as well. I was familiar with that. I think there was a night when I was like, let me go down the rabbit hole and see what all this is. And there's like a larger overarching thing that kind of ties it together as well, which I can't think of the name of right now. Which is,
Model Citizens Media.
Yeah, Model Citizens Media. Thank you. There's just a lot of M's.
It is a lot of M's.
There's Max, there's Millennial Gaming Speak, Model Citizens Media.
It's our favorite letter.
I can understand that. So give me your elevator pitch of the kind of broad strokes here. What you guys are doing.
Model Citizens Media is me and three other friends, Logan Moore, who, like Alex has said, has been on the show before. We've got Mario Rivera and Michael Ruiz, who are two guys that Logan met through Kind of Funny. They all have met each other. I have not met Mario or Michael. But we all decided we wanted a podcast together, so we made a brand and a bunch of different podcasts. We have MGS, which is our gaming podcast. That's just Logan and me. There's the Model Citizen Show, where I guess it's like the Game of Greggy show or the Comedy Button. It's just the four of us, and we talk about whatever we want. There's Reeling in the Years, which is a music show that Logan and Michael do. And then there's Behind the Pixel, which is a show that I host and interview different people in the game industry, which is one of the shows I've done with you, Alex.
Yeah.
Sat and talked with you.
Let's talk about this show that you've done, Behind the Pixel, because you've had like quite a prestigious lineup, and then me as well.
I was gonna say you're the top dog. I still throw you in my emails when I pitch to people. I'm like, and I've interviewed Alex O'Neill.
So you've had me on that show. You've had Kirk Hamilton, who is the features editor for Kotaku. You've had Danny O'Dwyer on that show, who is the one-man, well, not the one-man team, but the man behind NoClip, and also Per Schneider, one of the founders of IGN.com. So, like, that's a pretty good list right there.
Yeah, I also had Nick Wozniak and Ian Flood from Yacht Club Games. I love Shovel Knight, so I had to have them on the show.
Absolutely. 2014 Game of the Year, IrrationalPassions.com. So
I don't know what else came out in 2014, so I probably would have given it to that game too.
Shadow of Mordor came out in 2014.
I haven't played that yet. I bought that for $10, and then a week later it was on sale for like $3. I was like, darn you.
Sorry, it happened to me with Nier Automata. You know, we all make it happens.
It happens.
It's a pretty good game. It's no Shovel Knight, but it's pretty good.
I mean, nothing's Shovel Knight.
Dragon Age Inquisition came out in 2014 as well.
Yeah, but I've heard your story about that game.
Yeah, it's
I'm
true.
sorry.
It's okay. It happens to the best of us. No, that's really cool. You've done some cool stuff, and then I'm excited to get you on this show to talk about video games and not cool stuff, just dumb stuff.
Video games are cool.
Video games are pretty cool. So please go listen to Max's podcast. and obviously Millennial Gaming Speak. You guys did like your 100th episode recently.
Yep, that
We had a
was
bunch of people on it.
like 4 or 5 weeks ago. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was fun.
That was fun. I feel like when I came on that show for like the little bit that I did, I'm like weirdly insanely proud of where I went with that. I was just in a groove that night. I think that was all. Don't worry, this will be far more underwhelming. I promise.
Never underwhelming, Alex.
Oh, you're too sweet. Let's get some things started with some housekeeping. So IrrationalPassions.com, obviously, hosts through Irrational Passions podcast and also the new podcast Input, video games news show. New episode of Input is out, episode 3. Again, they're I think posting on Friday, Thursday in that range is what they're aiming for. And they talk about Hellblade and kind of like the surprises therein, which is exciting. There is a new review for Tacoma coming. I saw like the first draft of it, and I had Logan kind of just pretty much go back to the drawing board and rewrite it. But I'm excited to kind of see where he goes with it, and hopefully that'll be up sometime early next week. But it's something that I told him to take his time with, so we'll see. And also, I have a new piece on Overwatch going up because I've been playing just an unhealthy amount of that. And hopefully that will go up Monday is my plan. Tuesday is more realistic. But that is Simply Mechanics, which is a column that I started not too long ago about just like really technically talking about games and how their mechanics work and mixed together. So I have one on Overwatch that is, I think, done. I just need to edit it and then put it up. So look forward to that. But that's about it. And the only other thing I would say for housekeeping is that recent episode of Behind the Pixel with Per Schneider, which is very good. In my home.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some video games because I got video games to talk about. Max, what you been playing?
I've been playing. I just beat Wolfenstein New Order for the first time.
Okay.
Picked that up on sale for $10. Logan's been hounding me to play that game for a while, so I played that one.
How do you feel?
I just started. How do I feel about Wolfenstein?
Mm-hmm.
It was good. It was like over the top in the best ways possible. There's just something about Nazi Germany winning the war and taking over in America, and you get to fight them.
So I'm a very conflicted person on Wolfenstein. We're gonna dig into this one. I don't know if this was the one you wanted to talk about, but it's the one we're
No, let's dig into it. I just beat it. It's the one that's freshest in my memory.
So like, Nomishin's played it of our crew. Greg Blaney, previously more regular host on Irrational Passions, has beat it as well. He loves it. That was his game of the year that year. I think that was 2014 as well.
I think so.
Shit, yeah, it was. And I don't know. I have ups and downs with it. For me, it's like the juxtaposition of like, you go through the game, the cutscenes is very dour, somber.
Mm-hmm.
This kind of overtaken world is incredibly depressing, and I feel like they try and lean into like the realistic aspect of like oppression and the lack of free speech. And then, like, when you're walking around that game, like, fucking, what's his name that you're playing?
Blazkowicz.
DJ Blazkowicz, yes. Is just, like going up to Nazis and then stabbing them under the bed to stab them through the head and then going, like, night, night, Nazi. And it's like, this is dumb, and I don't like this.
That was one problem I had. This like the cutscenes and story like did not match with the tone and mood I felt while playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I like just brushed the story to the side. I was like, they're gonna have babies. There's gonna be some twins involved because I saw that Wolfenstein 2 trailer. I was like, I could have cared less about that story because it's also weird. It makes you pick. Like there's 2 different timelines. And literally all that impacts is one of the final bosses, and I think an unmeaningful way because you had no time to connect with those characters in the first 20 minutes you played that game.
There's certain characters that are on one timeline that's on the next timeline.
Yeah, so like the Jimi Hendrix style character, right? He's like one of the characters that you'll only see if you go one way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did not see him in my playthrough of Wolfenstein Door.
Yeah, so there are like more noticeable changes. I definitely think it's not crazy impactful. It's hard for me to understand why those characters are where they are or like swapped. But again, I haven't played through it twice. I just played through it the one time.
Same.
But yeah, that was like the. It felt like it was going for two things. So an example of that working really well is another game on your list, Doom, from 2016. Like I think the kind of absurdity of what your character is doing and how it's funny because he is so over the top meshes well with the very serious narrative about like channeling demons for power, because it's also kind of not serious, but they take it seriously and it's funny to see those two contrasted. Whereas maybe
but it's seriously in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way though.
Yeah, but maybe like Wolfenstein's oppression and Nazism is too close to home.
So would you rather just have the gameplay to be more straightforward then?
Honestly,
Or you
yeah.
just or would you just not want the commentary?
I think the commentary is a little much for me. Like if they like, I understand if they made BJ Blazkowicz more of a serious character, like that would take away from the history of that character. But like, I would care about him a lot more while I'm playing as BJ Blazkowicz if he was like seemed like he was taking this shit seriously at all. Does that make sense?
I get your opinion, and I understand it too, because like, I don't know, like when I played that game, like I mean, there was that difference, but like it was, like it's the cutscenes that like gave him character, not the gameplay that gave him character. I feel, and like as far as like the gameplay, I felt that was the ends to the means. Like it made playing that game tolerable because like I'm not really into like first person shooters, but like it's kind of like almost like BioShock Infinite. I probably is like that game is like grinding around, like even though it makes sense in that world where you grind around, you shoot stuff and like that. It was more like a shooter type of game, but like the story in it was like its own separate thing, and that was held up that game for what it is, for better or for worse. So
yeah, it's the like you said, like the cutscenes made Blazkowicz kind of like that more relatable character, but it's just like anytime I was playing in him and he's saying like incredibly insensitive or dumb things, like all of those cutscenes feel like a different person, and there's just a massive disconnect for me there. And he's just like, he seems like he's chiming in and having the last word for no good reason when like it's like commentary during combat versus like I think of like Uncharted, right? Nathan Drake, when you're like walking around and doing something and he has commentary, it's like very true to his personality how he communicates with other people as well. So there's no disconnect there, which makes more sense for that game. I just felt like Wolfenstein tried to have the best of both worlds, where it's like killing Nazis is fun, Nazi reign supreme is very serious, and you didn't do that. Like you didn't balance that.
okay,
in my opinion, I know. Like I feel like a lot of people definitely thought they did it well. How did you?
I don't think well is the right thing. I think it was no one really thought about it or that way. Is this more of like, like I said, like the gameplay was the ends to a means, and I thought the game was fun for what it is, but like
definitely fun, yeah.
But like I don't think it's like if it didn't have that atmosphere in that world from those cutscenes and what they built out from that, and like the whole scenery for that world, I don't think that game would like, it would just be like a fun shooter, but it wouldn't be like anything you could take from it. Like I'm so excited for Wolfenstein 2 because of like that whole world. That world is something I just want to step into and just like experience, because like it's different. It's and the way they characterize these characters are just like so good as far as like what I've seen so far. So like
yeah,
that's
like
I'm more into that than I am the gameplay.
Yeah, I agree too. It's just like when I'm walking around the world and everything I'm doing feels like contrasting to that world. Just like it takes me out of it more than I care to admit.
Sure.
Where were you at with it by the end of it, Max? Did you care about that world?
The world, yes, because I think it's interesting because it's not only is it alternate history, but it's almost future-esque as well, because of there's giant mecha robots and dogs and things like that just even when in our timeline where America ends the war, we don't have giant robots walking around. So I found that world interesting in the Nazi reign and those characters and stuff. Deathshed, the boss, I found him interesting, and his character, I think, lined up with a lot of what I know in history with Nazis and experiments and just thinking they are superior beings to everyone else. But I could have cared less about the rebels. I didn't care about BJ, his girlfriend, or I saved the Scottish, I think Scottish Irish guy.
The older
Fergus,
one
I
or
think.
the
Yeah,
younger guy?
the older one.
Okay.
I didn't like any of them, not even Max, who's named after me, obviously. I didn't have an attachment to any of them, and so I didn't really line up with their struggles so much as like their characters and what they're going through. But I could relate to like Nazis are bad and I need to kill them. I'm curious how I'll relate in 2, because that one, if I'm correct, takes place on American soil. And so I'm curious to see if I'll relate to that more just simply based off its location and kind of hopefully where those characters go. I think I can also relate to trying to save your unborn children. A little bit more. He was just fighting because he was out of a coma and Nazis are bad. I don't think I didn't attach to the rebellion. Like Rogue One, I could relate to the rebellion because I've seen 7 other movies and it just makes sense to me. Then this one, I was like, why are you all fighting? Besides Nazis are bad, I just found it shallow.
Because they took over the world. They took over the world, and it's a rebellion to try to like do something about it. At the end of that game, they don't win the war.
No,
it's just
they
like
don't.
they stopped it for temporarily, or just like they put a dent into it. Like that war is still going on. The Nazis still won in that world. So it's like it's just a matter of just like fighting every battle that you can and like making somewhat of a difference for what you can.
Like, it's more of like, again, they use a lot of really graphic imagery. Like, what's at the beginning of the game? Like, Blazkowicz is in like the hospital, and like those people are being like abused or whatever.
Yeah, he's in the hospital for the sick and mentally handicapped. I think I don't know, but they would take them. It was sick, like bodies for Deathshed to just experiment on, and then the Nazis come in and like kill all of them.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, this is very grim, and then Blazkowicz wakes up, and then like he is responding to the violence with just more violence, and it's brutal and disgusting. And it's like, again, it's that removes me from it. It's just you're showing me one thing and then making me do another. And I think BioShock Infinite's honestly a really good comparison, because like one of the big criticisms of that game is how violent Booker is. I think they set up both characters, like Booker and PJ Blazkowicz, as being violent characters pretty well. Booker obviously on a much lower level than PJ Blazkowicz, I feel, but I think that's also like a fair point of a comparison for me. I think if I went back and played that game, that would stick out to me more now, especially after having played Wolfenstein. So I don't know. It's just I have complicated feelings on it. Where are you at with the sequel, Max? Are you on board? Off board?
I'm on board. I'm down. Will I get it at launch? Kind of depends on how I feel about the other 2 games coming out that day. Like Mario is a guarantee.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Certified
Like I will eventually play it for sure.
Okay, fair enough. What else have you been playing? I took us on a tangent there, but I thought it was rewarding.
Good tangent. I played Sonic 1 and 2 for the first time.
For the first time?
Yeah, for
Wow.
the first time.
Original Sonic, I assume.
Yeah, original Sonic, and then Sonic 2. I played it for MGS. We brought back this old segment we had called Play and Report, where we played games we necessarily didn't play or finish to completion as children, and then talk about them today through kind of the modern gaming lens. Sonic 1's a bad game. It's a miracle, that game. That Hedgehog had a lot of character to carry him through that.
That was the point.
For a character that's all about going fast, that game does an awful lot to make you go slow.
That was more 2 than 1. I said that was more 2 than 1. The 1 was more about the character. 2 is more about like your blast processing and all other bullshit.
Yeah, the blast processing. I think you're right. If I had gone back and seen commercials or stuff for that era. That probably was, because one of the cool things that I love is like in Sonic 1, I left the controller sitting for a minute, and he does his famous animation where he looks at you and just taps his foot like, come on, let's go.
Yeah,
Like, he's just full of character, and I think that's why Sonic is where he's at now. But so
most definitely. Like Sonic 1 is more of like something that's like, it was marketed as that's like, oh, like Mario's just a kid to win, and like Sonic's the cool character. So
yeah,
Sonic
he's
1
got
was more
attitude.
about, like, yeah, so that was all the thing about Sonic 1 in particular, just like about him just being more characterized and just like,
it was creating
oh,
a
so
mascot.
Cool.
It was creating something that Sega could push forward. I remember learning about that in my video game history class. Like Sonic, they needed a mascot. Sega didn't have that, and they needed it, and they made it. And now look at him; he's everywhere. He's all over the place. So we played those, and then also because Sonic Mania is coming out soon, we kind of wanted some context for where Sonic began. The only Sonic I ever played growing up was Sonic Advance 1 through 3.
Those are good games.
Yeah, I do like Sonic Advance, and I actually kind of want to dig it out of storage and play it again so I can see if it's as good as I remember it. And then some of the 3D ones, like Sonic Heroes, which I'm fond of, Sonic Battle Adventure, Adventure Battle 2, and Sonic Riders. I think that's a fun game. The skateboard racing
you're
one.
A Riders fan.
See, the first one, not the second.
Oh well, the second one doesn't exist as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
Sonic Heroes I enjoy as well.
And just there was something about the like being able to run around with all three of them. I played that on GameCube. We
all
it from
do different things.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun.
So I'm really excited for Sonic Mania. I keep watching little videos and stuff. I think that game's going to be really fun.
How did you feel about Sonic 2? You didn't say.
Sonic 2, I think it's amazing how much of a difference 1 year, and to be fair, it's probably less than that because of dev time. It's better. They went from 3-level acts to 2 levels, so levels are shorter and not as dragged out. I think the music's better. I like having Tails there, even though he doesn't really do all that much. It really conveyed that sense of speed. I mean, it felt better. It's still not a good platformer. Anytime I had to stop to jump, I was dreading it. But it's good about making you feel fast and having fun. And there's a lot of areas to explore and stuff. I think they just handled it better. They made a better game, and it was good.
Is the third one Sonic and Knuckles?
No,
Sonic 3.
Sonic 3 and
Knuckles, and then you can put Sonic 3 into Sonic and Knuckles to make Sonic Knuckles 3 and Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Knuckles.
Got it.
Yes, apparently that's how it goes. I have not played those.
Those are like very, very good.
Okay.
For someone who likes Sonic games. Sorry.
Yeah, I've played I played Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and I believe I've played Sonic and Knuckles. I don't think I've played Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
It's cool because like like Sonic 3 is his own game, and then it's like you can see like at the end of Sonic 3 you can see like the preview for Sonic and Knuckles. So then like you will play Sonic and Knuckles, and then like that's its own game, and like it alludes to stuff from Sonic 3, but like it's not in that game. Then when you put Sonic 3 on top of Knuckles, it's like pretty much you have like 2 campaigns into one. So it's just real cool. It's a real cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
They only ever did it once, so that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, stacking cartridges on top of each other is usually a bad idea. I remember seeing the Sonic 3 cart though, or the Sonic and Knuckles cart that you could like stack on top of it.
A lot of people didn't know you can like actually play that as a game by itself. No one really knew that.
Yeah.
They always think it's like that's the attachment for Sonic 3.
Attachment, yeah.
I thought it was an attachment. I didn't even know it was its own cart.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not a huge Sonic fan. I remember liking them as a kid. I'd be curious, like I'm very interested in Sonic Mania because like I don't have any like active recall of my nostalgia levels for OG Sonic style games. So I might like them a lot more than I think. It could be like a Crash Bandicoot thing where I go back to it. Like Crash Bandicoot's got me doubting everything now, where I went back to it and I liked it a lot more than I remember. So who knows?
I think they have a delicate balance of nostalgia and modern gameplay, and I'm hoping it's more like Shovel Knight in that regard, where it captures the spirit of that era, but it has modern things in it that make it better. One big hurdle is they are dealing with a mascot and a character that a lot of people love, and it's a particular style of that brand of game that people have been asking for, like Metroid. And, with Samus Returns coming out, people have been clamoring for a 2D Metroid forever. And so hopefully these guys nailed it. I know it's pretty much people that have created like the mobile ports and different like fan games and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I know they have the heart and the passion for Sonic. I'm just hoping it all pans out. It's not just a ton of nostalgia and not good game design. I'm hoping it all pans out.
Yeah. Well, the not good game design, more than likely, it's going to be the game design from something similar to what it used to be. So, yeah. If anything, it'll be just that again, but like there's a little, like, probably just like little quality of life improvements, I would assume.
Yeah, fingers crossed. That could help Sonic a lot, though. I think
it really could.
Man, that animated intro that they put out, though.
Haven't watched it.
You haven't watched it?
I'm saving it.
Okay, dude, you're saving some good shit. Like, even I was like, God damn.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it's like also like super 90s style hand drawn animation, like cartoon style animation. It's very good. What else, Max? What else you got?
I started Doom and I've only played the first mission. My options were Mordor or Doom, and I felt like playing another shooter again. Okay. Coming off Wolfenstein, and I know those two are closely related just because they're published by Bethesda, not developed by the same team. And then also when I watched the No Clip documentary, I kind of had an itch to play Doom. I thought that would be cool. That game is cranked up to 11. Yeah. I just put up a surround sound system in my room, and so
nice.
I plugged that into my Xbox, and that was just like just immersion death metal, not death metal, just metal. Shooting demons on Mars. Like, it's just absurd over the top in another crazy way. And it's fast.
Yeah.
It's scary how fast it is.
It's just movement speed, man.
It's just those 60 frames. Yeah, it's nuts. So I'm excited to see where that game takes me.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to play it and beat it before Uncharted in 2 weeks, though. We'll see if I can beat it this week, because if not, I have to go watch my parents' apartments to take care of the cats, because my parents are going to be out of town for like a week. And I'm not going to take my Xbox with me. I'm taking my PlayStation because Uncharted comes out while they're gone, and I will play Uncharted on their big TV.
Nice.
Instead of Doom. So I hope I can beat it before then. I probably should have thought about that before I started the new game.
What would you say? Was it like 10 hours, Alex? That it took us to beat that?
Maybe a little bit more.
It seemed long.
That's kind of what I've been hearing, which I think was around the same amount of time I poured into Wolfenstein. So I think I could do it if I just kind of hunker down and really focus on it.
Wolfenstein felt like it took forever. Doom felt like it was long, but it didn't feel like it took forever. Maybe because
Wolfenstein, I felt like should have ended maybe 1 or 2 missions earlier. Like, there's one more mission.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, no, I feel like you've only played the least interesting mission in that game too. Like it's like, honestly, the level design just gets better.
Well, I've actually played that mission before too, because I remember, I want to say it was an E3, but it probably was a different event where they came out and announced that you could download the first level of Doom for free as a demo. Like, there was a Doom demo.
Yep.
Maybe that was an E3 because Doom had just come out.
It was just before Doom. No, it was E3 because they put out the demo after the game
right.
came out.
So I played that before, but it was much more interesting to play it with the surround sound, and I played it on my Xbox and I had my Elite controller, so like I was in the zone for that one. It felt better.
Yeah. It's a good first level, and it just gets better in my opinion. So
I'm down.
Yeah, like 10 hours, maybe 12 at most, I would say. Anything else?
I beat Horizon before I played Wolfenstein. You said I could take back a little bit.
Sure.
I beat Horizon. It only took 50 hours.
Damn.
Only took 50 hours.
And I still don't have the platinum. I think that game's just okay.
Okay.
Coming from the guy that just said he poured 50 hours into it, like I don't know. When I play an open world game now, I have the problem of comparing it to The Witcher 3 and Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
And Horizon is just like it's a good first open world game.
Okay.
It reminds me very much of a Ubisoft kind of game. Like it's a big world. There's a lot of checklisty things to do, which sometimes you're in the mood for and sometimes you're not. But I feel like it doesn't go deeper than that. For Guerrilla, I think it's a great first open world game, and I'm excited to see where they take it in the sequel. My favorite part of that game was the narrative. I have not played a game with that kind of futuristic post-apocalyptic narrative before. I thought it was really cool. It kind of kept me guessing, and that was my drive, was the narrative. I thought the combat didn't challenge me to try new things. I just used my bow, I'd say 90% of the time, and used other weapons only when I had to, not because I wanted to.
Okay.
But like in Wolfenstein, for just weapon comparison, like Wolfenstein, I wanted to use other weapons and the mods on those weapons. And sure, some of that was situational, but other times I just wanted to use them. And I didn't feel like Horizon did that. Granted, two completely different types of gameplays and weapon styles. It was it was okay. Like the whole package was okay. The narrative was really cool. It's a good bow mechanic, I guess. I'm really hopeful for the sequel that they push it to that next level, because they took a long time on this game, and it shows.
Yeah.
It's
very polished.
And now I want a Witcher 3 treatment to it. I want deeper side quests. I want characters I actually care about. I want that world to expand and be more diverse. I thought the world wasn't very diverse, even though like it was traditional. Like here's your mountains, your jungle, your desert. I want it to feel a bit more alive. And diversity in robot creatures would be better too, I think. And glint hawks can go die. Any flying robot, just I'm done.
It's funny. I friend of the show, roommate of Tony Horvath, Griffin Guccione, called me while I was writing Sunday Chats last week, before Game of Thrones, after Sunday Chats, and just had like a 25-minute conversation with me over the phone about like why he's frustrated with Horizon Zero Dawn.
Did he just beat it, or?
No, he was just thinking about it, and I think he just needed to get it off his chest.
Yeah, Griffin been saying like, oh, he just want to talk to video games to somebody lately. So
yeah, so like he called me and we talked about it, and like he's in our camp now, and we're like The Witcher 3 has like ruined him on everything forever now.
The Witcher 3 is so good. I thought about picking that up again because I was pushing for the platinum in that. I started my second playthrough. I love that game.
Nobshin's got the platinum. Proud owner.
Oh my gosh. Props to you, dude. I have like a spreadsheet with all the Gwent cards. Like honestly, I just have to beat the game again and get all the Gwent cards. Like I don't have that much left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of time though.
Props to you, man. That's good.
And yeah, like he was just Griffin like had a lot of really good points of like, why did this need to be an open world game? When I think of open world games and The Witcher comes to mind, I think of like it's a world because all of the engaging side quests are well written and deep, and they build out the world, and it justifies it being open and exploratory. Whereas Horizon would have been better because the main narrative is so good. If it was just you go.
I mean, if it was like Uncharted 4, where it's linear in that sense, but it has those wider areas, you know, like Madagascar, for example. Mm-hmm. If it had that, I think that would have been more fun, and then they could have introduced new robot types as you progress through the levels. Like I think, because I wouldn't miss any of the open world stuff, the clear enemy camps, or collect these metal flowers. And you could have done collectible metal flowers within levels, just like you do in Uncharted.
Mm-hmm.
Or you don't have a quest that says clear these enemy camps. You just put a fucking chest in it like Zelda.
Yeah. I like that format too, of like
something to motivate you to do it besides a checklist.
Yeah, exactly. Like something that isn't listed on your map. It's just like you go there, you figure it out, you do it, and then you get rewarded for it because you wanted to do it.
You know, speaking of Zelda, I felt like Horizon didn't reward me for experimentation either. Like I would try to go outside of the box, do something maybe with a bow, maybe try and light something on fire or use a different weapon like in combos or set traps up and stuff. And it didn't reward me. I just end up reverting back to my bow with the best arrows and I would just shoot them and take their weapons. But Zelda obviously rewards you for experimenting with the runes and planning your attacks or going in. Like Horizon was by the books, like paint by numbers.
It's rigid.
It's hard to say because like if someone plays Zelda before they play Horizon,
which I did.
Yeah, it's just a hard thing to like compare to. I mean, Zelda's not perfect, and like we know people who are very critical about like certain aspects of Zelda, like like combat or whatever. But like there's certain things about Zelda as far as like the freeness that it gives you, and like just determining like I said, that whole world is not just a dungeon that's a puzzle. It's the whole world is the puzzle in that game.
It is.
Like, and because of that makes it what's fresh and new, and why people fell in love with it the way they did. I feel.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be fair, I think the side quests in Zelda are quite lame as well. They're fetch quests as well, except for the ultimate fetch quest where you build is it
a town?
Terrytown?
Terrytown, yeah.
Yeah. That quest is great. But beyond that, I mean, they're the same kind of as Horizon, like go here, do this.
Yeah.
Bring this back. But in Zelda, the few that I did, I wanted to do because that world, like you stumble across it. In Horizon, everything's marked on your map. I knew where to go and what to do. And sometimes the puzzle was just figuring out the path to get up there. It was like a linear open world.
Yeah. My big thing was I feel Horizon could have succeeded as both a more linear game like Uncharted 4, but it wanted to be an open world game because that's what sells to an extent. Like I feel like Guerrilla wanted to make an open world game. I don't doubt that.
Well, look at is it Shadowfall?
Yeah,
Killzone. Like that was a more open first-person shooter experience. I think they got their feet wet with that.
Yeah, and I think Guerrilla definitely had a lot of fun making Horizon and like experimenting with the open world stuff. And I think as far as combat is concerned, I think that format helps that game a lot because you can kind of just stumble into it. I really liked the combat that I played in that game. I haven't gone back to it since the beginning of March, but I want to, and I felt I wanted to engage with different weapons and try different things just because I thought it was fun. So I really liked that, and I know a lot of folks that had trouble with the combat like felt more put off by that game. So Griffin was not one of those people. When I talked to him, he's like, I really like the combat. I really like how it plays. I just don't like the fact that it just drowns me with these side quests that are all the same. And I get that, there is definitely like, there's open world fatigue left and right.
Oh, it's crazy. And when you look at games coming out, like how is Spider-Man gonna hold up?
I think that's different.
You think Spider-Man's gonna be different?
I hope it's
different in a way like the only side quest I could see in that game is something like Spider-Man 2 was like, oh, my balloon's in the air, and like you fucking get there or something like that. So like I don't think it's gonna be like something super in depth as far as like side quests in that game. So I think that's a more linear open world type of game. Like if anything, it'll be like something like Nier Automata, where it's like it's a quote open world game, but it's like it's a linear game more or less.
Yeah, which is how the original Nier was as well. The other one, like Days Gone, like that's an open world game with a big question mark on it. Like God of War is exciting because it seems like it's doing the Tomb Raider approach.
I hope it does.
Which is like open world, sure, but it's really more just kind of like boxed out areas that you do a lot of stuff in, and you're essentially kind of traversing it that way. And I like that format a lot. I think like that middle ground is really exciting.
And if you think about it, though, that's also a natural progression for God of War, because when you go look back at 2 and 3, they were these areas, different sections of wherever you were, and you'd get to explore them. They were a little bit more boxed and linear, but Tomb Raider, you get those big open areas and then some narrow areas in between, and you got yourself a A+ game.
Yeah, like I don't know, there's a lot of open world games coming out this year. Like the one I compared it to for Griffin, he didn't have the point of reference, but it was like Mafia 3. It was like this game probably would have been better if it was just a linear game, but
it would have been for me, yes.
Yeah, and you're not alone in that. So, but unfortunately, it didn't shake out that way. But I don't know. I think there are a lot of different feelings about Horizon after like months later than there were like right when it was coming out, and
Right when it
like,
came out, people were singing the praises, from the rooftops.
especially like reviewers were the ones singing a lot of those praises, and they got to play it very early and very before Zelda, and like it was a different thing. So.
I feel like 2017 as a whole is going to be an interesting year to look back on in video games, but those early months right there are going to be interesting too, especially right before Zelda.
Yeah.
But
Tony,
Yes.
I need your opinion.
Okay.
Horizon. Yes, please.
I like it. Everything about it. No problems with it.
Cool.
Cool. Did you like The Witcher 3 a lot as well, Tony?
Yeah.
Did like Horizon's kind of handling of side quests really bum you out, or was it just something that
It was just something that I chose not to engage with. I don't know. I didn't have the drive in The Witcher to, to do every single thing. Like, I did most of the main side quests and stuff, and I tried to reveal a bunch of the map and go and do a bunch of the monster hunts or monster nests or whatever was available. I did the same thing in Horizon. I did enough of it to satisfy me, and then I moved on to something new.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and then neither game did I have like a ridiculously huge drive to like completely finish doing all of it. So,
And Zelda?
Zelda's the same way. I played as much as I was interested in playing, and then finished the story.
Mhm.
So
yeah,
Which I think is how most general people are going to consume it, and that's why I think maybe completionists like me are an outlier.
well, actually, I think my situation is a little bit interesting too, because I played The Witcher and Zelda both for the IGN guides. So I had to do more in those games than I would have done by myself.
Okay.
But Horizon was my own. I bought that for myself for my birthday because I knew I was like, I can't afford it right now. I got Zelda and a Switch. I can't pay for it, but I will play it on my birthday. And I definitely wanted to see that story through, and I thought I would go in there and get the platinum, but I got really tired of traveling that world real quick. And I don't know if that was just open world fatigue hit me, because it's post Zelda, was really close by, and it's just, I don't know. Maybe it was just the wrong time for me to play Horizon and get that deep, but I didn't feel like I wasn't compelled to do certain things in that game. Like side quests, who cares?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm curious to see just like how like a game like Red Dead Redemption 2, for example.
I think
handles everything.
I think Red Dead 2 is going to be like Destiny, but no one believes me.
How so?
It's going to be one of those games you could play by yourself, but you're going to be playing with your friends. It's going to merge GTA Online, Destiny, in a cowboy world. You're going to have your little gang and go rob trains and do all sorts of. I think that's what it's going to be.
Okay.
Because GTA Online makes them an ungodly amount of money. And I think they said like when they announced the game, there's like a major online component to it, which I mean would just be Red Dead Online. And if it was just like GTA Online, it would still make them a ton of money. But I think that next gen experience is probably a more immersive world where you're shooting stuff and robbing trains with your buddies.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. I like that theory. I don't.
The thing though is
value to
it'll have that Rockstar polish. And I think its narrative will be way more substantial than Destiny 1 or 2. I have 2 story looks interesting, but yeah. I doubt it's going to be super deep. I think Red Dead you could play by yourself and still get a full experience and have a good time, but I think that it will have seamless multiplayer integrated into it, where you will be able to play with friends.
Okay. I like that.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Scoops.
Scoops.
Anything else?
That's all I've been playing.
Nabashin, what you got?
Me?
Yes.
So I failed.
You failed.
I failed on my goal. I stayed on this podcast for like almost like a month now. I was like, motherfucker, I'm going to beat Kaylee Woomer in this fucking platinum race for Persona 5.
Mhm.
I said I was, and it didn't happen.
I'm sorry.
There's a myriad of reasons why. Some not really pertaining. I've been saying it's Cameron's fault. It's not Cameron's fault. It's not his fault. But it's just I didn't get the platinum as fast as I wanted to, and that's the bottom line of that. It sucks. Like, I had a whole speech prepared. I was gonna do the whole fucking Independence Day thing and just talk about this is my Independence Day that I beat Kelly Boomer to the Persona 5.
Oh, she would have loved that too. Oh my god,
that would have been funny. But no, that didn't happen. So I did Beetlejuice, and that was just good. But
you
no,
you got the platinum trophy still, right?
No, I got discouraged and I turned it off.
Oh no, you just broke Kaylee's heart somewhere, I'm sure.
No, it's fine because all I'm doing is fusing personas, and it's I could do this for the next 2 hours, or I could just go to sleep because I just got finished recording with Cameron at the time.
Mhm.
I was on the Naughty Gamers podcast just yesterday, and we talked a good length of time. And I was telling him too, I was like, I'm in the middle of this race, so I have to somewhat pay attention to this thing I'm doing at the same time while I'm doing this podcast. But I had to pay. I was paying more into the podcast. We had good discussions about Batman v Superman and just the news of the gaming of that week. That's good conversation, and that's what I wanted when I was going to other podcasts. That's all I want, just long form discussions and just good talks. I'm really into good talks right now. And so I was saying to myself the whole time, because I've been playing Persona 5 again. I'm literally just playing it again. I'm not skipping cutscenes or anything like that. So it was just a matter of just me just playing the game and just enjoying that game for what it was, and just doing it relatively as fast as I can, but still enjoying that game, which I have been. It's fuck, I still love that game so much. But yeah, I was just down at the point where just fusing personas, and I was on Cameron's podcast for about 2 hours, and I lost a good amount of time, and yeah, Kaylee got me. And it was the Futaba trophy too, which I knew that would be the one thing I would hold her back the longest.
Mhm.
So it's I should just try to do this fusion thing really fast, and it just didn't work out that way. So oh well. But it was so much fun. It was
very
fun.
close, man.
It was
holy shit.
crazy close.
I thought it would be one person in a landslide, but no, it was literally maybe hours apart.
No, man, because I've been saying, I even told Kaylee this, because he was she thought I would be blasting her out. I'm no, because you beat Persona 5 a week before anybody else I knew, and and so I'm not underestimating you one bit, because I know how good you are as far as dedicating yourself to something. So I was I was doing my best to, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted to. So, but yeah, that's been my entire week, dude. It's been that game all over again. Just it just consumed my life all over again, and I just enjoyed it because of that.
Yeah.
What was there anything on the line between this race besides pride?
Yes.
Well,
I was talked into by Tony against my will to buying the Victor a pizza. I have to do that for some reason.
What? Why do you have to buy them a pizza?
So now I owe Kaylee Woomer a pizza.
Okay.
So that was the bet.
I don't even remember how that happened.
Tony was what if?
What if Alex had to buy the winner a pizza?
That was pretty much it, honestly.
I'm sure.
And
It
then
was.
I was yeah.
I said
So-
yes, and I was wait, no, but it was too late.
Yeah, that was the funniest part, because I expected him to immediately say, "No, why do I have to buy someone a pizza
Okay.
regardless of what happens?"
But no,
Really, at the end of the
I'm gonna
day,
remember that for my
Alex
next
should
bet.
just buy me a pizza.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that for my next bet. When I'm
Yeah.
betting with someone, I'll be like, Alex will cover the bill.
I feel it's different when I'm not there.
No.
No, there will be a delicious pizza that will be delivered at some point.
And I think I'll get Kaylee something too, just because.
Oh,
not?
Should buy her a little Morgana thing.
ooh, that would be good.
It's gonna be something. We'll see.
So how many hours have you poured into Persona 5 then that you're so close to the platinum?
It's it was 214 last time I checked. So So, like the first time I played through that game, it was like 205 or something like that. No, it was 205. It was 105, and then now was like just add another 100 on top of this, and that's me somewhat rushing through the game and like grinding out with going against the Reaper like multiple times. Yeah. That was a pain in the ass, but like I got to level 95 and everything. Yeah, that like there's a couple of highlights of this year for me. Like the kind of final like 3 thing when me, Cam, NATO, and Christian and Griffin like sneaked out to watch My Hero Academia. Just sneaked out just to see that, and like this is another highlight for me. Just like it's like it was just so much fun, and like we weren't really trash talking, but like it was just like this fun like little pictures I sent off, and like we both laughed at it. It was so much fun. Like it was a good highlight for this year for me. I had so much fun. But that's pretty much all I've been playing. I had nothing else. Like I bought Hellblade, couldn't play because I was playing Persona 5. And
apparently that game's good though. I'm really excited that game's apparently good. I don't know what the controversy about Hellblade is, but
I think people are wigging out of permadeath that may or may not actually be in the game. It just sounds like people have a stick up their butt about game design that sounds actually really cool. That game's atmosphere sounds very interesting. A game that was not on my radar at all now is.
Yeah, I'm very
on the map.
Probably pick it up this week. But yeah, I was just saying that game sounds good. At least I was worried that it could, because the whole way it was developed and everything. But now I'm very excited. Yeah, no, I figured that was like the only thing you were playing. Because I thought, because I talked to Kaylee and she like you said, she kind of plows through that game like full speed ahead, no stop, no breaks. And I thought that you were gonna kind of keep with your pace, but then when I heard that you were like literally playing nothing but that this week, I was like, oh shit, the race is on. So yeah, no, that's awesome. I got a message from George Cruz Alvarez today. It was a screenshot that said Persona 5 completed. It was a save state. Persona 5 completed 113 hours, and he said, we need to talk. And I'm like, I am so excited. So I think what I'm going to try and do is do a monthly Passions podcast with him one-on-one and do a spoilery thing with him as well. Just because like he was like that game way more by the end of it than he did at the beginning. And he was on a few weeks ago to kind of
which is the opposite of some people. So.
Which is the opposite of a lot of people, I think.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to kind of, because he's very critical in a way that we aren't, I would say, and he's just got a very different perspective. So I'm excited to hear that.
I'm in a weird spot with that game because I like just stopped playing it at the Pyramid, and not because I wasn't having fun with it. I think another game came out or something I was just playing. And I haven't gotten back to it, but I want to. But I'm finding it difficult to find the drive to go back. And I don't want this to turn into Persona 4, where I was way into that, and then I just stopped. Really, maybe after Doom, maybe that's what I need instead of Shadow of Mordor.
I think it is worth seeing through. I think that game just gets better as it goes on.
I was freaking out. Like every time I would finish I want to call it a temple. They're not called temple. Palace. Thank you. I would freak out, and I love the idea of the pyramid one that I'm in right now. And I do need to finish that. I'm having way too much fun.
Yeah, that one's a particularly good dungeon, I think. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that game. I was excited to hear your end of the story, Nabashin. I'd heard the other end of the story, so I was excited to hear yours. Close race. Congratulations, Kaylee Woomer. You've earned a pizza.
From Alex.
From me, of all people. Someone at first completely outside the bet, and yet now somehow deep inside the bet.
Somehow the bet.
Somehow I am the bet. Tony.
Hi.
Video games.
Video games.
What you been playing, man? BDO.
Yep.
Black Desert Online.
All right, moving on.
All right. What else you been playing?
That's it.
That's it?
Yep.
Yeah, now moving on to me.
Okay, Scott, what you been playing?
Same.
Black Desert Online.
No, I played something else this week. I'm just having the worst brain fart on the podcast today.
Stellaris.
Yeah, some more of that.
Okay. The Flint Hook. Other games Scott likes. Kingdom Hearts
I
2.
mean, I did,
Guitar
but I don't
Hero
think it was
2?
this week, and I almost got there, but I still haven't gotten past the guy, and that's probably next time I'll bring it up myself.
Okay.
When I actually beat and move on to the next stage.
Yeah. No worries.
I'm worried.
Then we'll talk about my games. Guys, the Overwatch Summer Games started this week.
You have Amazon, right?
I do.
Did you do your Twitch Prime thing? Get your
I
5
haven't done the
box?
August one yet. No.
Okay.
I should. Thank you for reminding me.
Yep.
I've been playing Overwatch just so much. God, it's funny because like I turn on my PS4, I'm like I should play Nier, and then I'm like I shouldn't take Overwatch out of the disc tray. I should sit down and play Overwatch for 6 hours straight, and then pass out. And then I do that, and it's really bad, and I don't like
Take it out. Hit the eject button.
Yeah.
Take it out.
I'm trying, but I like Overwatch so much. It's very good. I'm like almost. I thought it would never happen, but I'm so close to hitting gold rank in competitive that like it might actually happen now. I think I'm getting better at the game. This is a big thing. I wrote that piece this last week. I've been chipping away at it, which I'm very excited about. Like the mechanical piece on Overwatch and just kind of like things that I've run into in my experience of playing the game on PS4. I've been like, I played more with Kaylee Woomer. I tried to, distract her away, Nabishin, like, get her away. No.
That was a scheme, man. That was a scheme.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's not. No. She'll think the worst of me. Oh my god.
If anything, I told her to get the fuck off Overwatch and put her on the 5.
But no, I like because I like playing with her because she's like just starting, but she like really likes it. It's fun to see someone who's not gotten into shooters. I feel it's kind of similar to you, Nabishin, where you like really enjoy that game, but you've never really been into a competitive shooter before. Mm-hmm. And it's exciting to be able to share that with someone who will actually talk to me on voice chat, Nabishin.
Fuck you.
But yeah, that was fun. And last night I played with Andrew Taylor, Nato Johnston, and Cameron Abbott. I got to play a video game with Nato, which was fun. Which I don't think I've ever done. Although like For Honor is it's true. I played Mario Kart with him. Yeah, I played a lot of Mario Kart with him. It's weird, like when it's in the Discord, like it's separate. It's like a separate
it's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
Swiggity swoogie.
Yeah, sweetie.
Never forget.
Yeah, it's true, man. Remember the Mario Kart days, Max?
I do.
They're so good.
Those nights. I'll never forget them.
Nights. Playing battle mode and learning who
Oh my gosh. Don't ever play battle mode with Alex O'Neill. You can play regular Grand Prix with him, but not battle mode, especially Bomb Blast.
Oh boy.
You can play Shine Thief with him.
Well, Shine Thief I get a little anxious. Don't play Shine Thief with Alyssa Shimoda. That's the trick. Yeah, so like it's been fun, picking that game up with different groups of people. Andrew Taylor and I played a little bit more on like Thursday night as well. Just having a good time. Like I really like that game. I like playing it by myself. I like playing it with people. I like showing people new mechanics and teaching people new mechanics that are like getting back into it with me. Because like when people see I'm playing, they're like, "Oh, I'll play with you," and they're like, "Oh, how does this work? How does this change?" Because I haven't played in 7 months, and it's like, yeah, okay. So it's been a lot of fun. That game is still phenomenal. Summer Games is really fun. All the new skins are great. I got the Mercy skin, which is like the best. It's the best. It's just the best.
I haven't seen it yet. What is it?
It's like she looks like Athena. She looks like a goddess, like a Greek goddess.
All right, I can dig it. I've only really seen the Black Widow skin, but that's the one they're pushing everywhere.
Widowmaker.
Not Black Widow. Oh, gosh darn it. Widowmaker.
All right. I was there for you. I caught you in my arms, Max. Don't worry.
Thank you.
So Overwatch is great. In my 4th Summer Games loot box, I got the Mercy skin, so like I'm good on the Summer Games stuff. Like I'm gonna keep playing it. I played like a little bit of Lucio Ball, which is back. Still not very fun. They've like changed how it works, but it's just not. Like I think of Rocket League and how much fun I have with that, and Lucio Ball is just not that. Just because like movement.
Oh yeah, she does.
Feels so slow. She is real good. It's a real good skin.
My favorite is Soldier 76. I love the barbecue apron.
Yeah, he's got a great barbecue dad skin, and on his gun it says assault rifle. Like
Yeah, that's pretty good.
SALT, which is that's real good.
That's pretty great.
Overwatch is a very good video game, and I'm very excited to play more of it. The only other thing I played, I got back into Sundered this week. I played a lot more of that game as well. I played like four or so hours of it, and that's very cool. Like I'm starting to notice things that maybe I have more problems with than I did initially. Like for example, like something I like about Metroid is when you go into a room, that room has a set amount of enemies, right? Or like certain enemies that are there that make that room a challenge. And things like the Metroid Prime games will play around with that and like introduce new enemies as the game goes on, or mix up the enemy formats and stuff like that. Whereas Sundered, which is kind of comping that Metroid format, is doing the whole procedurally generated areas. Like, right, there's a block in the map here, and anything in that block will be procedurally generated, right? The main rooms that you need to get to, essentially the rooms where you get your powers, the big choke points, and like the rooms where you need to fight bosses are generally going to be in the same place. But the big checkpoint, or like the big areas between those, like essentially the traversal you have to go through to get to your destination, is going to be different every time. And so to compensate with that, they've changed it so there are no set enemy locations. Enemies will just kind of appear at different points and fluctuate in appearance. And sometimes like a horde of enemies will just like wash down on you, and it's just like feels like there's no real purpose to fighting. Like I could keep running and I get a little bit of experience from fighting, but because everything is procedurally generated, and really I'm getting the big rewards for stopping and fighting in like the big set rooms where it's supposed to happen, like the enemies are more of like a nuisance than anything else. But that also comes from like I don't have like a lot of tools in combat. You get like a cannon that you can shoot, which does massive damage, and it helps destroy enemy shields, and that helps to deal with bigger and more annoying enemies. So like being able to at least mix it up between like jumping and attacking and then like shooting the cannon or something has made fighting at the very least more interesting. But that was just a thing I've noticed as I've put more time into the game. There's also these very cool rooms that have like these giant crystals. So like the Elder Shards are kind of like what you were working beneath. Like, and this Elder Shard is commanding you. So there are these rooms with these giant crystals that will speak the history of the world. It's very interesting. There's a lot of names that don't make any sense, like just like Cathal or Shieth or something like that, with like apostrophes and names and whatnot. But it's very cool. It's very ominous. It, like walking around the world, it feels creepy in a way that few 2D platformers do. Like it honestly reminds me a little of Oxenfree and how it sets its atmosphere. And some of the older Metroids too. Like the thing about Metroid is it feels like an alien planet and it just feels alien, but it doesn't outwardly feel ominous. But the kind of, I guess, the unapproachability of enemies, like the fact that they just show up anywhere, does make everything feel a little bit more on edge. So it helps and it doesn't help at different points. I've been enjoying it though. I'm really excited. I started writing some notes for my review of it whenever I finish that game. But I'm a big fan. Like I think the game is gorgeous. I just got to the first major boss fight, which is massive. Like did any of you ever play Axiom Verge?
No,
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I thought
No.
you might have an option. Like there's that one fight, I think it's like the third boss fight in Axiom Verge, where it's just like the size of like the room and it's massive. Like the first boss is kind of like that in Sundered as well, and I think all the bosses are like that as well. So it's very cool. Just plays around with scale in like a Metroidvania space that is very fun. So But that's it. That's all I've been playing. You guys want to take a break?
Sure.
Come back, talk about some news, and then maybe we'll take some questions and throw it out. So we will be back in just a little bit.
Choo choo choo.
If you need to get some water, run to the bathroom, now's your chance to do it.
Sounds good. I will take you up on that offer.
I think I will run to the bathroom, actually.
I'll be back.
It's good talk, Max. You're very good at the talking part of podcasts.
Well, I'd hope so. I do.
He says as he
I
grabs
am.
a fat bag of chips and starts crunching right on that microphone.
Hey, I've been muting during the show for that.
I saw some chewing. I was like, ooh.
Power on.
What's he got going on over there?
What's on? What powered on?
It's the ghost that lives inside of my mixer. No, it's my Bluetooth device, so I can play the music.
Wow. I hope I'm good at the talking part. I'm a talkative drunk too, which my fiance doesn't appreciate. She likes to dance, and I like to sit and talk with people. We're not very compatible when it comes to drinking.
Alex is going to have a lot of interesting things to listen to during the break where my mic was just muted for a while.
Oh, yeah?
Oh,
Yeah. He's going to hear some very candid BDO chat.
I'm very excited.
Some guild logistics.
Guys, get your shit together.
No.
Mom.
And also a very a brief No Man's Sky discussion. So
We're about to have a lengthy No Man's Sky discussion, so get your shit together. I should open that news story. Nabashin, you back?
Oh yeah, I'm just browsing here.
No worries. Did I miss any news?
Only thing I can think of is Sonic Mania on PC got pushed, but that's not.
Yeah. It's not big.
It's not big. It's not like Valve announcing a new game.
Yeah. Shakes head quietly.
I gotta get on that Hearthstone train. Chew.
I did play some Hearthstone this week.
Too late, Tony.
Too late
You
now.
fucked up.
I know. I played one game. All right. I
Is there
feel
an
like that's
expansion coming out or something?
it's out.
Okay.
God, it's been so. I want that game on. I was hoping for Vita. Now I'm hoping for Switch.
Okay.
Like I played it on my phone for a while.
It's not bad on the phone.
No, it's not. It's great.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
I just wanted a little bit bigger of a screen. I feel like I would play it more if it was on a console, not my phone.
Sure. I mean, I prefer to play on PC just because, it's easy. It's huge.
Yeah.
All the shit is laid out up before you on a giant monitor.
Yeah.
I
don't know,
It feels like the good middle ground.
Yeah, I think that like mobile game, like they laid it out pretty well for like what it is to be able to play it on, up to
On a
the
phone
smaller
screen,
phone, especially.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that it's not, the preferable option if you had a choice.
Yeah, not ideal for sure.
Oh, hey, I should also point out that for some reason, Pizza Hut thought it was a good idea to start serving French fries.
No.
Yeah, if you go on PizzaHut.com right now and look at sides, you can get French fries with your pizza.
Do you think?
And I'm here to tell you today that they're bomb as fuck.
They're good?
I got the Cajun ones, and they're so good.
All
What?
right.
Not only do they have fries, but they have different flavors.
Yeah, dude. Different, like, fry dust.
Fry dust.
Dude, that's legit.
Fry dust is, like, the sexiest thing I've thought about today.
You know what? If they were going to do it, at least they did it right. You know what I'm saying?
Curse my poor cell phone reception. I just want to see these fries.
You don't have Wi-Fi?
Okay. So the Wi-Fi is so bad that if I'm on the Wi-Fi on my phone or I open a new tab right now, I'm gonna disappear.
Really?
It's pretty bad. A few weeks ago I was getting 0.3 kilobits down.
Jesus Christ.
There's a reason I have a hard line up in my room for my PS4 and my Xbox.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I have a hard line for my PS4. I could like switch it over to the Xbox if I needed to. But it's just like, man, I ain't got to switch shit. People are like, you're lagging in Overwatch. I'm like, nah, it's you.
It has to be you, yeah. I can plug it into my MacBook. I have the adapter for it, but the problem is my MacBook Air only has one Thunderbolt 2 port. And so it's either get to use my bigger monitor or plug in the hard line. And most of the time I prefer to actually see what's going on.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I finally loaded. We're going to the sweet sides.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at this picture before.
Oh my gosh, they have fries.
I told you it's fucking weird. Who wants to eat French fries and pizza?
I just gotta see it before I hit this news thing, just because I want to know. And I'm
No, dude, this is an item of news.
Carry out.
Yeah, shit, those are fries. This is like fucking normalized McDonald's French fries too.
No, I don't want to sign in. I just want to carry out so I can see how much it costs. Yeah. No. Continue as guest.
All right.
I'm a guest to this pizza.
Yes. All right. Order carryout. I just want to see the ordering options.
It's like, give me all of your information and your social security number first before you see the fries.
Mother's maiden name, last four of your social. Order
And the last 6 credit card numbers you've had.
Can you tell us your last, all of your addresses from the last 10 years? What? All right.
No, I don't even remember my last order carryout.
I'm ready.
I'm ready, I guess.
Are you sure?
Ooh, found the seasonings. Lemon pepper and Cajun style.
Mm-hmm.
Is there just salt? Is there a salt option?
There's just plain.
I feel like that's just default.
Yeah, that's the plain. So next time I order Pizza Hut, I'm gonna get some French fries.
they're way better than you expect that they're gonna be.
All right, I'm down.
All right.
But still weird to eat French fries and pizza at the same time.
Wait, do you think like the Pizza Hut, KFC, Taco Bell combos are going to serve French fries now?
I don't know. Probably.
I don't see why not. Well, you know, on UCF campus there was a Chick-fil-A Express, and when I worked at regular Chick-fil-A, like the menu changed and they got rid of the spicy chicken biscuit for breakfast. But the Chick-fil-A Express still sold the spicy chicken biscuit because their menus were different. Eventually, they got rid of it. So maybe those like combos or those mall, you know how there's like Pizza Hut and Target or something? Maybe
There's
they
Pizza Hut and Target? Why haven't I been going to Target?
Yeah, Targets usually have a Pizza Hut in them. You can get like individual little pizzas and breadsticks and stuff. But since they're technically a different form of the restaurant, they may not have all the sides or options. But one can dream.
Yeah.
French fries.
Real quick, another quick aside. When you worked for Chick-fil-A, did they train you to never say thank you, but always say my pleasure?
You are talking to probably one of the few Chick-fil-A employees that never said my pleasure.
But they trained you to do that, right? Or was it just a thing you picked up?
They tell you they want you to do that, but they don't there's not like a training video where they're like, you have to say my pleasure. Everyone else says it, and it usually rubs off on you, but I went in there. I worked in the kitchen. I worked up front like twice. Okay. But I still dealt with customers when I would hand out catering orders and stuff. So I kind of made it my mission there to see how long I could go without saying my pleasure, and then it turned out to be as long as I worked there.
It's the worst.
And then they fire you.
That.
Yeah, they look you in the eyes and like, my pleasure.
I make it a point whenever I went to the Chick-fil-A drive-thru to be like, hey, thanks, and then stare them in the fucking eyes as they gritted their teeth and said my pleasure back to me, and just be like, you're welcome, and drive away.
All right, I'm hitting this thing. We're doing it. News in gaming. It's fucking hot off the presses. Pizza's got French fries, y'all.
Yep.
Unreal. Regular, lemon pepper, and Cajun.
That's what I got was the Cajun.
Tony got the Cajun French fries.
How do they compare to Five Guys Cajun?
I mean, Five Guys is the best fries. So
all right, okay,
but
so we're on the same.
Okay,
page.
Look, I when I got those fries, I was expecting like pizza fries, like shit fries that you would get at a Jerry's or something, some like kind of B tier pizza place, right? But they were respectable fries. If your expectations are where mine were, they were pretty good.
What they should do is pizza fries, where they get you like a little thin of fries and then drench it in mozzarella and pepperoni.
Do you think if I called them and I was like, hey, I want a pepperoni pizza, stuffed crust, obviously, and could you also put French fries on top of it and then cook it? Do you think they would do it?
Yeah.
You'd have to know a guy there.
You would have to know a guy.
But they would do it. The guy that you know there would do it for sure.
Yeah. I mean, because I've worked at pizza delivery places like Papa John's and Domino's.
You would have done that.
I did that. I did shit like that. Not specifically with French fries, But yeah, Namshin and I worked at the same pizza place for a while, and we fucking made random shit, and it was great.
Beautiful.
That's all right.
There's a fast food restaurant chain here called Jimmy Ula's, and they serve tacos with French fries in them. They're pretty good.
Oh, I am so hungry, guys. We have to stop.
Yeah, I get this thing called the Wipeout taco, and it's like shrimp, avocado, their Wipeout sauce, and then French fries and cheese, and it's amazing.
What kind of cheese? Do you know?
I do not.
Like Mexican cheese, just
Probably.
the standard mix.
Yeah,
Fuck. All right.
they're delicious.
I'm gonna eat everything after we finish this pot. I'm gonna go out of my house. I'm gonna eat everything.
You did just get paid.
Yeah, I got that paid.
You got
money.
paid?
I'm gonna spend $340.
Honestly,
on food tonight.
why don't you order your Pizza Hut French fries and pizza now?
Dude, do it.
You underestimate how long this.
See, they replaced the pizzone with French fries, and now it's the only way I get to feel whole.
Well, they got those like little pizzones, right? Do they still have those?
They've got like, I think so,
Yeah.
like those weird, like it's a garlic knot but with pizza shit inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, those seem lit.
They're
I'd eat
good.
that.
They're good.
Put that in my mouth. Chew a little bit, maybe swallow.
Maybe.
I'm usually
swallow.
a spitter.
Yeah. Well, I'd rather be a dick than a swallower. So. Anyway, outside of quoting Kanye West, video game news happened in addition to pizza restaurant-based news. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is announced, which is cool. A lot of folks like the original Dragon Quest Builders. My brother being one of them. Found out he's like a big fan of Dragon Quest Builders. He plays that on PS4. Dragon Quest Builders is coming, next year?
Mm-hmm.
In Japan. And it is coming to PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Which is a great platform for that game. It's like they just were like, this is the new Vita, I guess.
I'm okay with that because that means eventually we're gonna get Persona 5 ported to it.
Yeah, keep the fingers crossed. Persona 5 Crimson is coming to the Switch. Heard it here first.
Some URL was saved and they didn't announce it when they announced those dancing games.
Yo, man, like if they do end up remaking Persona 3, which is the true dream, I hope that would come to Switch. That'd be really cool.
Just let it all come to Switch, everything.
But yeah, that's really cool. I don't know what new features they had. They did like a 9-hour stream.
There's gonna be swimming.
Okay.
I remember co-op.
Oh, co-op's a big one.
Gosh darn it. There was another thing that I remember seeing off Twitter, but swimming and co-op are the things that I remember sticking out as new things.
There's apparently a Dragon Quest Summer Festival also in Japan.
Dragon Quest is huge over there.
Yeah.
And 11 just came out, and that was nuts.
Yeah. And it's apparently very good as well for folks that have imported it. But yeah, that's very exciting. Like I played the demo for Dragon Quest Builders and I actually really liked it. It's kind of like Minecraft-y, but also not. And it seems really cool. Excited to see that they're making another one. It seems like they have a lot of fun with their weird spin-offs. Like friend of the show, Justin Graffius, he's actually a big fan of Dragon Quest Heroes and Dragon Quest Heroes 2.
Well, Justin likes everything, so.
Justin does like everything, in my defense, but I don't think he likes Dynasty Warrior games that much. So that he likes those games is cool. He said they've got like cool quests and stuff in them, in addition to just being a Dynasty Warrior style game. Valve announced a new video game. Valve is making a new video game. Yes, gasp worthy.
Dota 3.
It is called Artifact, not Dota 3. And guess what, guys? It's a Dota-based card game. It's exactly what you wanted.
Did you guys see that video floating around of the live reaction?
No.
Oh my gosh. When they announced it, at the International, everyone got like super excited when the logo was up on screen and then it said a Dota 2 card game and everyone just went, oh, like just, it was awful.
Yeah. So it's it's a digital card game. I imagine to expect something along the lines of a Hearthstone, or at least visually
It's-
like a Hearthstone.
It my roommate, big Dota 2 fan, I've been watching the international all week. So I've been picking up a little bit on it. He says it's an actual trading card game, so you actually will trade cards, which on Steam makes sense because they have already Steam cards and things like that.
Yeah.
And he says there's 3 boards, so I don't like that you're playing off at the same time. So it sounds like almost a Gwent, but split up. I don't know. That's just based off the ramblings of my Dota obsessed roommate.
Okay.
It's another card game.
Yeah, it sounds more interesting than I would have given it immediate credit for. At the very least.
Hearthstone, Gwent, Elder Scrolls. There's one more. What's the other one?
Ooh, that's a good question. I can't think of it.
Hearthstone, Gwent, the Elder Scrolls
Elder
one.
Scrolls Legends, Fable Fortune is the one listed on this.
Yeah,
news
that's
story.
great. That legacy game.
But I don't think that's the one you're looking for.
It might be. Who knows?
Is a Yu-Gi-Oh, whichever one.
There's a Pokemon one too, I guess. So
Yeah. I'm curious. Like, I'm actually genuinely pretty excited to play the Gwent card game because it's got like a full campaign and everything.
Mhm.
And Gwent is pretty simple. Like, you can get through a Gwent round in 10 minutes at most, usually. So I enjoy that about it. So I don't know. It's a digital card game. I feel like Valve is this is another pillar for them to get closer to becoming the next Blizzard.
I mean, they don't need to make another game ever because Dota 2 makes them so much money.
Yeah. Steam makes them so much money.
It's ridiculous how much money they probably have. I wish they would make another video game that didn't involve Dota.
Yeah.
It'll never happen.
I like the idea that maybe someday somebody in there will be like, hey, I want to make a new video game. They're like, all right, fine, we got like $2 billion we're sitting on. Why don't you go make another fucking video game? And then he'll make a team and he or she will make a team and make another.
Where's the Steam box? Where's Half-Life 3? I've never played Half-Life, but I know a lot of people want it, so I'll back you guys.
I feel like you would like Half-Life.
I would love a Portal 3. I would love a new Portal game.
I'd play another Portal game. I didn't want Portal 2 when it came out, but then I played it and I really loved it. So
I think they could do something really interesting.
we made fun of Portal 2 on this podcast a lot.
I know they've done VR on the Vive, but I would love like a PSVR Portal.
Mm-hmm. That was like I think Portal 2 is our number 1 or number 2 game for that year as well.
It was 2011.
2011.
No,
Skyrim was our game of the year.
No. Was it 2010? It was the same year Mortal Kombat 9 came out.
Mortal Kombat 9. It's whatever that year is. It's either 2010 or 2011.
Because it was the year the PlayStation was out. So I don't know what year that was.
I
Heavy
think it was
Rain was that
2000.
year too.
I think it was 2010. So Mass Effect 2.
2011.
2011. There you go. Skyrim was our game of the year that year. But I know that was also the year Skyward Sword came out.
Hey,
Quote,
I
unquote,
love Skyward Sword.
Worst game all year.
Love Skyward Sword.
I enjoy Skyward Sword.
Haters
I
gonna
know.
hate.
I heard Skyward Sword's worst game of the year that year.
According to fucking some asshole. According to Joseph Fate, who literally ruined my whole year.
Okay, so for that game of the year, they wouldn't nominate Skyward Sword for pretty much anything. No one would back its corner but me.
I
Except
knew
for when it
stuff.
came to the worst of the year category.
Yeah.
Because
The
it
worst
didn't
game
win
all year.
anything else and wasn't going to win anything else. It had to win something.
Yeah, so it won the worst game all year award.
That's a terrible, terrible situation. I'm sorry, Scott.
I wasn't happy about it either.
I
that
love
was
Skyward
when I
Sword.
really
I would.
liked the game.
I still defend that game.
I had one goal for that year's game of the that year's game awards, and that was Skyward Sword wins something. It could have won something else, Alex.
It could have won something else. Listen, man, if I could go back and change things, I would. Joe really hated that game, though.
Well, I really hate Joe. So there you go.
I'm sorry. He's out there crying a single tear.
He better be.
I loved that game when it came out. Then I grew some level of distaste for it. Then I played it again, and there are definitely things I like a lot about it, but at the end of the day, I have more issues with it than things that I like about it, I think. Or like the issues I have with it are of a magnitude that do not outweigh the things that I do actually really like about the game.
Oh snap!
There you go. There's my perspective.
My total tangent.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin just proposed to his girlfriend, and she said yes.
Oh, congratulations!
So a lot of proposal talk. My watch buzzed, and I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy."
Mazel tov.
Now there are 3 grandchildren engaged.
Boo! I mean, what? No, that's congrats. In other news, the creator of another Metroid 2 remake, which was a pretty cool fan project by Milton Guasti. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm going to give it a shot. Milton Guasti. He made it last year, and it was shut down by Nintendo after it was finished and released.
I still have that on my computer.
I don't. I have not played it. I would like to find some way to play it.
Do you want me to send you a zip file? I can't play it because it's PC only, but I downloaded it when it came out because I knew this would happen, and I wanted to keep it. So I have it
as well. So,
all right. So we're both in a pickle.
Yeah, but I do want to see it. Maybe I'll see if there's like a let's play of it at some point. But it was shut down. Milton Guasti now is working in a professional capacity at Moon Studios. Moon Studios, who made Ori and the Blind Forest and are now working on Ori and the Will of the Wisps, the follow-up. So I thought that was like, I saw that news story and I was inspired to put in the show. Obviously, I like Ori. Another Metroid 2 remake is infamously very good. And what with Metroid Samus Returns coming out later this year and all that, I'm pretty excited.
I have not played Ori yet. I own 2 copies of it.
Okay. Did you own the definitive edition as well?
Yeah, it came with my Xbox when I bought it, like the regular version of Ori. And then a month or so ago, the definitive version was free if you owned Ori 1 or the regular. So I technically have 2 copies of Ori. And I haven't played it yet.
You should play it.
How bad do I need to play it?
Ori the Blind Forest was my number 2 game of the year in the same year that Witcher 3 came out.
So it's the first loser?
What was my number
No.
year?
It was Life is Strange.
Yeah. Oh, it's 2015. So what was my game of the year that year?
Life is Strange.
Yeah, Life is Strange. And then Ori and the Blind Forest, then Witcher 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say it was my number 2. So I like it a lot. It was like, I don't know how you feel about Metroid games, but if you like those kinds of games, that is probably one of the best I've ever played, if not the best.
All right, Alex.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this Twitter exchange between you and me, but we're supposed to have a one-on-one podcast where we talk about Metroid and Hamilton.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, dude, we're good.
We're good. Yeah. That is a good question. What would we name that podcast?
Metroid Hamilton Returns?
No. I was trying to think of something with SR388 in it, but I couldn't. SR388 this time it's this time the revolution. I don't know. I got nothing. The Battle of Yorktown.
Ham. Oh no.
A.ham.
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 S. Aaron. Ham.
It's mind. A.Burr.
Thank you.
I got you.
Best
I'm here
Alex.
for you. But yeah, it is like you should just play the definitive edition because it's just the original one with like they've changed the mechanics around a little bit so that you could backtrack if you missed something. There's some like levels that would like be closed off after you finish them, but now you can go back and play them. And there's like a new game plus mechanic in the definitive edition, and after you beat it, you can go back and finish up the map as well. Awesome. I played the definitive edition for the first time this year. I'd gotten it since it come out, but I just got the craving to play it after they announced Will of the Wisps. So I played it at the end of June, played through it. The whole thing takes about like 7 hours, 8 hours maybe.
Okay.
It's fantastic. Some of the best music and for sure best visuals that year. I don't know who would think otherwise, but
That game does look good.
Tony
I can't
Hawk.
deny that.
I know. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, I thought it was really cool that one of the people that made a very good Metroid remake is now working on the sequel to one of my favorite Metroidvania games. So worth shouting out. So this is like the big news story, and I think we'll have probably a conversation around it as well. Not like I know that we probably don't have a lot to say about it, but I'm curious to get your perspective and history with it as well, Max. But No Man's Sky update 1.3 was released this week. Again, like it was announced that this update was going to come out over the weekend, and then it came out like on Tuesday. Just kind of dropped out of nowhere for PS4 and PC, and it's a big update. And obviously, like Hello Games has been silent on this game,
As they should be.
Yeah, I mean, like they had the thing where they said too much. Now do stuff. Actions speak louder than words, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
They put out the big update last year, which added like bases and things like that. That was, from what I understand, pretty well received. This update, like I have the patch notes in front of me. It's very, very extensive. So I'll kind of go through and talk about what they've added. So the big feature sets is quote unquote joint exploration, which I'll loop back around to in a little bit, and a graphical overhaul, which I'm not necessarily sure what that means. And it's also added 30 hours of new story content. I don't know what they would qualify as the number of hours of story content they had before, but
0.
maybe. So the big thing is like the multiplayer aspect of it, joint exploration, which allows you to roam around planets with other people. They're not physical people; they're illustrated by lights, like that kind of float along the world. You can have up to 16 players together in the same world. They have to obviously be at the very same place at the very same time, which that is still relatively difficult in that game. And interaction is limited, but Hello Games refer to this as, quote, an important first step in the world of synchronous co-op in No Man's Sky.
Definitely the groundwork for it.
Yeah, which, interact, like just kind of, you can kind of ping to other players, very Journey style, it looks like. And that's cool. Like it leaves them room to make that so you can eventually just be exploring with other people who are blowing up stuff and fighting robots with you. The 30 hours of story content is, quote, double the lore and interactions of the existing game, end quote. And NPC guilds have been introduced with economic trading and crafting systems. The crafting system as is has been expanded. I don't know. Like it seems like a really, really big update that added a lot of stuff, and it's actually kind of exciting to see. Like we talked about it when the game came out. Of like, there's kind of like no redeeming what this game was, but I think there was. I remember, or I feel like I said, there's definitely room for this to be made into a really good game, kind of like how Destiny was. And I feel like they're on the track to do that. I don't know if it's there yet. I haven't played it. But I think all these updates are actually pretty exciting. So I just kind of wanted to get everyone's perspective on it. Obviously, we haven't talked about No Man's Sky since November of last year. I think this is when the big bases update went out. It was the last time we talked about it. None of us have played it since, as far as I know. So I just want to kind of get a check-in, see how people feel about the infamous No Man's Sky. So what's your kind of history here, Max, if any?
The hype bug bit me right at the end. And so I did buy it. Abby and I bought it together, and she's actually a science teacher. So she was super interested in the idea of like these procedurally generated worlds, and like she can name the animals and stuff and discover things. Like the sciencey part of it kind of spoke to her, and I was like, it's just crazy that we're going to be on a planet that no one else has been on. Like that sci-fi part of it spoke to me. Quickly, the game showed how shallow it was, and I should have waited for reviews, and I think No Man's Sky taught me to wait for reviews on games, which, I mean, good. I've learned my lesson. I don't really pre-order games now unless they're collector's editions that I really want, or there's like some crazy price error. I have been known to pre-order a game for a free demo as well and then just cancel it. Thanks, Amazon.
Hey,
But-
Alex.
Yeah.
Eh?
I have.
You don't even know what I'm referencing, do you?
Are you talking about Watch Dogs? Pre-order a game and then not cancel it and then have it shipped to my house while I'm not there, because that happens.
No.
Or pre-order.
This is precisely what I said No Man's Sky was good for.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We had to talk about this a while ago, and I said, like, listen, this is honestly probably a good thing, because if anything, this is the biggest showcase that people need to stop day one dropping on games that are going to be as hype as this.
Yeah.
It was the hype. I mean, I just got excited by what I just said, but the hype beyond where I was insane.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back and listen to interviews and stuff with Sean Murray and stuff, like, I don't think he was. It's difficult because there are things he said that just didn't happen. But I don't think he was intentionally disingenuous.
Yeah.
At least from his heart. Like, he really was just passionate about that game. And I think the whole team there was. And this idea, and it was exciting. And especially when you see his reveals and press events. Like, he seems like a very humble guy in it. When I talked to Danny about it, because Danny actually knows them and interviewed them way back when YouTube had like 10-minute upload limits and you had to upload stuff in 10-minute chunks. And Danny kind of vouched for that genuineness. And I think them going silent after the outlash toward that game, which the criticism was deserved. I think the level and severity of the lashing out was completely uncalled for.
Yeah.
When they kind of went silent and just went to work on the game, it's cool to see them still adding these free updates and making the game better and more in line with what they promised and hopefully what their vision is for that game. So I'm glad it's there. I don't think I'll go back. I don't think I'm gonna try and play it again, but it is cool to see all this cool stuff. I would go back if there were true multiplayer there, maybe. So I'm excited to see where this foundation takes them as far as the multiplayer goes. I still remember on the first day, 2 people got on the same planet, and I remember before Shamar was like, that'll never happen. The odds are just crazy, and it happened within a day. So now that there's actual multiplayer built into it in some capacity is interesting. To see how that game's evolving beyond their vision and maybe listening to some community feedback as well. So good on them for, going quiet, and at least it seems like not letting the negativity totally just tear them down and almost make them give up. Like, they still care about this game and the community that is in there. And I think that's really nice to see. And I would love to hear the story about what happened after that game came out with Sean and stuff. Someone's got to get that interview someday.
Dude, Danny O'Dwyer, get on the case, man.
I mean, yes, we talked about that on Behind the Pixel. Danny, I think, is the guy that could do it. Could get in there and talk to them about launching that game and what happened afterward.
The problem
It would
is
be
though with that in particular is it's like doing a documentary of a game that more or less failed. Like, no one really wants to talk about something when it's not a success.
Yeah.
So until it becomes that success, I don't think they'll be able to really talk about it.
But I think that would be so. I think the failures are super interesting. I still want to know what happened with Phil Fish and Fez too. Like, I mean, that was very public, but I want to get inside his head, because he's a part of. They made what's that VR game that I love? Super Hypercube. Like, that's him.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not going around, going on Phil Fish and I made Super Hypercube. And then, you've got half of the Super Meat Boy guys. Edmund is making Binding of Isaac, and now The End Is Nigh, and he's working on another game. And you never hear about the other guy who helped make Super Meat Boy. He's working on Super Meat Boy Forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's some interesting stuff, and I think Indie Game the movie, especially for Phil Fish and the Team Meat, kind of did that. But I think the failures are also super interesting. Last Guardian would be, that story will never be told, but that would be great.
Absolutely will never happen. I mean, like Kojima, that's the story that would never be told. Like, I still want to know what the fuck happened with Modern Warfare 2 and the Infinity Ward guys getting kicked out. Like, like there are so many great hidden stories in video games too. And No Man's Sky is for sure one of them. Especially like, what did Sony do afterwards? Like, right, like, Sony.
I also think the personal side of it, that had to be devastating. They knew what product they were putting out.
Yeah.
But just to get that heap of negativity just thrown at you because people ran their expectations off the wall, like.
Yeah.
They thought this game was going to be end all be all when really it's just Minecraft in space. And I would love to know how that team felt and how they keep motivated. Like, there's a lot of work what they just put out.
Yeah.
And it's to keep going, even though people hate your game and think they deserve something better. It's a sense of entitlement. It's gross.
Yeah. Where's your perspective at, Option? I know you're never like a No Man's Sky person per se, but I'm just curious what your perspective is.
Because it's like it's pretty much what Max said. With like as far as like them being dedicated to what they've done, because like it's very easy. It's very, very easy just to walk away from like all of this because you don't need. Like, life's too short to be like just be taking in all the negativity, even when you're trying your best with something. But the fact that they just stick with it for over a year and like dedicated to doing something, even though they did it probably not the best way, obviously, with staying silent. But by doing that, in a way, it made them like it made them whatever they said after the point of after launch is like nothing can be soiling whatever that game is anymore. So like they can't really promise something is coming when they haven't really said it anymore. So at the point where they're at now, it's like all the stuff that we have said before it launched. Let's at least keep that promise and let's not like say something anymore as far as like not
more things beyond that.
Yeah, exactly. So good on them for as far as that. And like I mean I don't know, like because like it's always about the first impression, right? Because like the first impression of anything, like you can't really get that back. And like there's some exceptions with like Final Fantasy Realm Reborn and stuff like that, but like I don't think there's going to be like a good. I don't think there's any way No Man's Sky can come back the way it probably needs to be, or probably what people want it to be. But like as long as Hello Games like try to be what they want it to be and what it deserves to be, or what they feel that game deserves to be, I think as long as they get what they want out of it in the end, I think it'll be enough.
Yeah, I agree. Them kind of seeing their vision through to the end is a big part of it. And I'm like, I think for them as well is cathartic. Like being able to say we finished No Man's Sky when maybe we hadn't when it came out. And I know like there's like definitely a conversation about like early access here that I feel like we've had here before, where you kind of prop something up as a full game where it's actually an early access situation. But like,
I think a big part of that has to be Sony too.
Yeah, and like as far as I know, that game was like a financial success by a while, by a mile at least. Like it sold a lot. I'm just like, it makes me more optimistic that another Hello Games game after this will able to kind of break some of those shackles. Not all of them, obviously, but like the fact that they're kind of updating and saying like, hey, like, we saw that through to the end, and hopefully they continue to do so. That if they ever want to make something else beyond this, that they can, and they don't have to carry as great a stigma with them.
Probably like the only problem with that though is they can't market it anymore. It just has to be a game that just comes out and just hopefully just becomes a thing.
Yeah, for sure. And that puts them kind of like, it's like, they're the indie camp, right? And they grew so big, and then it popped, and they're falling back to where all the other indies are, and kind of like that kind of you got to show, you can't just tell anymore. Tony, did you have any perspective for this?
Sorry, I missed it. What's up?
No Man's Sky. Do you remember that game?
Yeah. I've heard of it. I've played it.
They updated it. Remember that whole stuff that happened that I just talked about for the last 15, 20 minutes, maybe?
Yep.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, so here's the thing, right? Like, it sounds like they're turning it into a game that's maybe worth playing.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool that they're doing that because no one really expected them to do that, really.
Not really, not honestly, yeah.
Right. I mean, I played it already, so I probably won't go back. But it's cool that it's a thing that, I've got a friend who just picked it up today to give it a shot with all of the stuff, since they waited because they knew that they had heard that it may not be all that it was cracked up to be on the original release, but they seem to be having a good time with it, and that's good enough for me.
That's really cool. Like I like the idea that someone could jump into No Man's Sky for the first time after this is out. That's cool. This was a $60 game.
Yeah.
Still mind blowing.
Still own it.
I do. I can't get rid of it. I got it digitally.
Yeah, same.
I'm trapped.
Like it's. I'm sitting here thinking like Hellblade, right? Even like Lawbreakers, $30 independent games, and this was a $60 independent game. And of the ones that have reached that echelon, which is a very short number, I think, it's what a one to do. Scott, do you have any perspective, Dad?
Not too much.
Are you?
No, we pretty much covered everything here.
Are you glad that they're updating this?
Yeah.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if they could make No Man's Sky at least mostly the game that they promised, then they'd be in a much better position to go ahead and start doing other things.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if they tried to move on, they would straight up fail.
Yeah.
No, the No Man's Sky baggage would be way too heavy for them to just get past.
Yeah, and I think that's like internal as well, not just like external. Like I think like internally knowing what they did with that game and how they promised it would catch up with them. So, all right, that's a more somber conversation. It's always weird because like none of us wanted No Man's Sky to be what it was, but here we are.
I just quoted you in a tweet, Alex, of the graphical update to that game.
Okay.
Kirk Hamilton was goo goo gaga over the grass in it, which looks really good.
Wow, it does look very good. I
Dang,
assume it's
that
probably
grass.
a PC version as well.
Probably. Kirk's a PC player most of the time.
So I'm curious what that would look like on console. It's good grass though. Can't
Best
confirm.
grass.
That's it for news. Let's take a peek into the mail sack. If folks want to get their questions read on the podcast, they can tweet them at us, the hashtag at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. Excuse me. You can send us an email. The email address is mailsack@irrationalpassions.com. Or you can leave us a voicemail. The number is 404-590-1337. Standard long distance fees do apply. As far as it looks, we don't have any new emails, but we do got some tweets. Some good tweets, too. One was from Trevor Starkey yesterday saying, "Happy birthday, Scott." And he used the hashtag IPQ in case he didn't check Twitter. So that way it would be mentioned on the show. There you go, Scott. Trevor sent you that good Twitter love. Did you get any tweets? I know some people at you.
I hadn't checked, to be honest.
I tweeted something now.
You see, I check Twitter, but I don't check it every day.
Yeah.
You're not hopelessly addicted?
No, God, no.
God, no.
Tweet. I was looking at like all of our tweets recently to see how far ahead of all of you were. I was, and just in sheer quantity of tweets. And Scott had 88 tweets, I think.
Yeah, there's quite a bit on here.
Dude, I think
That's
I
a
have
lot
more
of
tweets than
content
you,
to
Alex.
sit through.
What? What'd you say?
I think I have more tweets than you.
I have 49,000 tweets.
Yeah, I have more than that.
Okay, sure. I mean, I know that's not true, but
Goals.
Lulz. Jake at Jake R Nichols on Twitter says, IPQ, go-to adult beverage with a winky face. What's your go-to adult beverage, Max?
Old fashioned with bourbon.
Classy. I don't know. Is it an old fashioned if it doesn't have bourbon in it?
You can do it with rye.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
I do. When I'm having an old fashioned, I prefer bourbon. But if I was just drinking one straight, I'd prefer rye. And I don't know why that is, because essentially an old fashioned is just plain with a little bit of extra flavor with the simple syrup and the bitters. But I don't know. It's weird. I don't like wines or beers. I haven't found a beer I like yet. Who knows? It's they all have a weird aftertaste. But I definitely like the hard liquors. So I'll stick with my whiskeys.
How do you feel about gin?
I do like gin. My parents and fiance think it smells like kerosene and tastes like it,
Fair.
but I like gin.
I like gin too.
I have a little bit left.
What do they have against kerosene?
That is a fair
Gets the
question.
job done.
I'll ask him next time.
Yeah. I'm like a craft beer kind of guy, so usually it'll be like a craft beer of some shape. But if you want to take a little bit down to the three categories of delicious alcoholic beverages, beer is going to be like a kind of like a weedier airier craft beer, something that's light, drinkable. Wine, I'm a white wine kind of guy. I like those white grapes. Nice, usually something like, I don't want to say bitter is not the word I'm looking for, but like something like harsh, like with a really hard hit to it. Because like I feel like wine flavor sticks out more if it is harder. And then on the liquor side, I like a good old fashioned rum and coke, man. Like, but there are ways to make a rum and coke to make it like real good. Maybe like put a little grenadine in there or something like that. But yeah, rum and coke is my go-to liquor drink. I love old fashions. I like vodka soda, but that would be my go-to.
I do love a good vodka Red Bull. I'm a much better bowler when I drink those.
Get the hype going.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, what about you? You would probably have a good answer for this.
My favorite mixed drink?
Favorite go-to adult beverage, like your go-to one.
Moscow Mules.
Okay.
Are my baby.
Yeah. Which is good. I don't think. Did you successfully make one when you were at my house?
No.
Yeah, we didn't have.
No, you had none of the things to make
a
Moscow Mule.
I know you wanted to make one.
Yeah, I was gonna. I mean, I made you just something, but no. I mean, when I was in Maryland, I bought you one at
oh yeah, that's right.
The bar we went to, and Scott as well.
It was good.
Spreading the word of the Moscow Mule.
Right, because we went there, I think I actually have an answer for this one now too.
Scott, Tony, what's Scott's favorite adult beverage?
Am I supposed to know this?
No, it's just like anytime we go drinking, Scott asks you what he should drink.
That's fair. His favorite drink is whatever I've decided he's drinking.
Yeah.
Before that day.
Do you have a favorite, Scott, off the top of your head?
I mean, if we're going for go-to, now it's going to be the Long Island iced tea.
Yeah,
because that's
nice. Yeah.
Other than straight shots, which I don't think counts here.
No.
That's the only one.
Okay.
Hey, straight shots count. You do you.
I'm technically Long Island iced tea is pretty much just straight shots.
There you go.
Yeah.
I did a podcast maybe a month ago, Miles Says and Show, and Michael had like a tiny bit of rum at the beginning of the show. So I took that as an excuse to grab my bottle of tequila. And maybe 5 or 6 glasses later.
I can't do tequila, man.
Tequila. I have this one tequila. It was aged in bourbon barrels, which is probably why I like this tequila.
I had this rum that was aged in a whiskey barrel. It was so good. Oh my god.
See, whiskey's at the heart of everything. Everything good.
Yeah. I love me some whiskey. Nobshin, what's your go-to adult beverage?
Probably Sailor Jerry.
Sailor Jerry. That's a good rum. Sailor
Sailor
Jerry.
Jerry. Yeah, Sailor Jerry and Coke, I think.
Yeah. That's I mean, like, of the two, like Captain Morgan and Coke or a Sailor Jerry and Coke, or like what's the B1 B rum? Bacardi and Coke. Sailor Jerry is the best in my opinion. Here's a question from Model Citizens Media, which is at Model Pods. And they say, why is Max so dreamy? I guess that would be a question for us. I feel like you can't answer.
I was going to say, I don't know if I can answer that.
I mean, Max, I think you've got a very nice voice.
Why, thank you.
Alex is just out. That's
And
it.
he's gone. Oh my gosh, it happened again. Oh, darn it. He likes to just leave me alone.
Yo, at least he dropped that bomb before he left. You know?
That's true.
Was he about to throw it out?
Ooh,
Or do we have more IPQs?
This is a tease, man.
man. It's like getting hit on, but then the person walks out with someone else.
I usually know when it gets like too quiet. I'm like, oh, I probably dropped out.
It's like, yeah, someone's hitting on you from the arms of another man.
Yeah, that's what it was like. It was just like, Max, you have a nice voice.
It's like I can feel the betrayal. I see it happening already.
No, I was saying you have a deep, sultry voice with a little bit of rasp to it. It's very sexual. I feel like if we did a series of podcasts that was just the two of us, it would be too sultry.
It would be fantastic. That's why we need to do a Hamilton Metroid one.
Absolutely.
The crossover would be too good.
It's like, let's reimagine Metroid characters in scenes from Hamilton. All right. Room where it happens. Okay. Samus is in the room. No.
There's a Metroid.
There's a Metroid. And it's Thomas Jefferson in this situation. Yeah, you got a really nice voice. I would consider that pretty dreamy. What would you consider dreamy about Max, Tony?
The hair.
Oh,
I mean, come
thank
on.
you.
Beautiful blonde hair.
Got weakness
It
for blonde.
runs in our family, Max and I.
Yes.
Scott, tell me the dreamiest characteristic you find for Max.
What?
I need you to tell me why Max is so dreamy, because I'm getting all flutter over here.
Like dreamy Luigi type dreamy?
I mean, you could take that question however you want to interpret it.
Dream drop distance. You can go anywhere.
Yeah, you got a lot of room, actually.
It's a wide berth.
It's a wide net.
We'll go with the headphones.
Okay.
Yeah, the headphones from the beginning of college. Okay.
Nice.
They're held together by like industrial double-sided tape.
Hell yeah.
The padding has come loose, and I can't afford any pair of headphones.
You see, I'm in a similar situation. I could have new headphones, but I have instead decided to glue mine back together.
Hell yeah.
That's they still work. This padding just keeps coming.
Absolutely. It's everything else but the drivers of the headphones that work.
Wait, Scott, didn't you just buy new headphones like today?
Not yet.
Because I swear okay.
It's gonna happen because there's a really good sale on them. I just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I was talking to Will earlier, and they were talking about headphones. I don't know. I feel like you're betraying Max right now. I feel like you're bamboozling him at this very moment.
Well, it has to happen yet. It will, though.
It'll happen after this podcast is done recording and thus out of the canon. Nabashin?
The fact that he's engaged.
Aww.
Ooh, home record
Nothing more attractive than a man.
Exactly. Yeah. That's whole reason.
Home wrecker. Yeah.
You even got me an aubergine.
You're a loyal man with a heart of gold.
Oh, shucks.
We got 2 here from Reverend Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy on Twitter. First is, we playing Overwatch after this?
Pass. Sorry, bro. Not into it.
Don't own it.
Maybe.
Well, Alex, yes. Alex will cave. He will order his pizza at Pizza and his Pizza Hut French fries.
Fuck yeah, Pizza
Alex,
Hut French fries.
you better be sending me some of those.
Ooh. Spread the joy, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a different fast food chain.
Is there a fast food chain that's their slogan?
I think so. I feel like I've heard that before.
I'm thinking of when you remove the Joy-Con and you give someone else the Joy-Con, they call that spreading the joy.
Maybe.
That's the worst.
I don't know. Maybe that's a butter campaign, like spread the joy. Like you're spreading it on the toast.
Oh shit! Or like maybe like a dollop of daisy type shit.
Yeah, like now I gotta find it.
Cameron Abbott also says, what abilities have you unlocked in Sundered? So I have the double jump. I have the cannon, the Valkyrie cannon. I have one more, I think. What is it? Oh, the shield, I guess, is technically the other ability. But I think that's it. I don't think I have anything past that. But I'm excited to get more abilities. The abilities seem pretty cool. So there's a lot of wall jumping in that game, too, which I enjoy. And it's very easy to wall jump, which I like. That's it. That's going to do it for MailSack. Remember, you can email, tweet us, leave us a voicemail, send us your questions. You can follow each of us on Twitter. I am at AlFighter27. Scott is at WhatTchuz. Tony, you're at Tony Horvath. And Nabishin is at NABESHIN186. Max, you're at Max the White, all one word. Which, rough times to have that Twitter handle. You know
guys, it's Lord of the Rings.
No, I got it. I know. I'm just giving you a hard time.
I can't go back now. Everyone gives me a hard time about it.
You can follow the sites on Twitter at IrrationalPod. Max, where can people hear more of you? What if they weren't listening earlier? Where can they hear more of your luscious, sultry voice?
Anything on ModelCitizensMedia.com. We got 4 podcasts there. We've got the Model Citizen Show, which is where we just get to talk about whatever we want. A couple weeks ago, we ranked every Pixar movie. I had a lot of fun with that one. I threw that question at the boys, and it got bloody.
What was number 1?
Toy Story.
The first one?
The first one, against my wishes. We had to do it like a democracy, so we voted and had to make it come together.
What was the one? It was the second place one.
The Incredibles.
Okay.
I would have put Toy Story 3 first.
Okay. I would put Inside Out first. I know some people don't like that movie at all.
I love it.
Who doesn't like that movie?
Yeah.
Roger Picorni.
Me.
Roger, we've had a great relationship up to this point. Our love
But it's over now. I've moved on.
Our love of Splinter Cell, I thought really brought us together, but now we might need to have a stern talking to, boy.
He actively hates that movie.
Actively, okay.
It's not even I mean, he's also just being dramatic on social media. Him and I had a one-to-one conversation about it. He's like, "Oh, I see why you like it. Fucking Boing Boing or whatever his name is ruined that movie for me." I'm like, if you let one part of that movie ruin that movie for you,
so he doesn't like imaginary friends. Well,
no,
you know what? And
he's never had an imaginary friend apparently, which I
sounds like Roger's a lonely person.
Oh wow, deep cut and also true. Real quick, I want to move off onto your next thing to pimp. But what was the worst on the Pixar list?
Cars 2.
Fair.
Yeah, I guess technically Cars 2 is the worst. I do like Cars 2. It's not as bad, I think, as everyone. Maybe Cars I would have put there instead. But Cars 2
Stop that. The original Cars movie is excellent.
I've seen the original Cars movie, and I like it a lot, actually.
Cars is good. Did any of you see Cars 3?
No, I've heard it's good, though.
Cars 3 was pretty good. I was like, good job, Pixar. A+. It only took 3 movies for you to make Cars a classic.
Rule of threes.
It's true. Toy Story 4. We'll see how that lands. But that was fun.
Mass Effect Andromeda. What else? Where else can they hear you?
Hear me, Millennial Gaming Speak. It's a gaming podcast I do with Logan. We do that every week. He's actually in New York right now and won't be on the show this week, so I'm figuring out how that's going to work.
Logan Moore, it's worth noting because we do have Logan Wilkinson.
Oh, yes, Logan Moore. My bad. He's at Moreman12 on Twitter. And then the other show that I do is Behind the Pixel. It's where I interview different people in the video game industry, learn their stories, share advice, and ask them all sorts of questions. And I just did an episode with IGN, one of IGN's co-founders, Per Schneider. So that was fun. We got to talk about how they respond to audiences and how they keep IGN fresh throughout all the years, and talked about like going back to TV and stuff. So that was a really fun conversation that hopefully you all check out.
Cool.
You said going back, were they on there before?
Well, going back, I mean like video games back on TV, because what was it, G4 and stuff? Yeah, sorry.
I just assumed that it was like, did I miss that? I never knew that.
No, yeah, there was but apparently they pitched it before, like they tried to get all sorts of stuff on TV, but it just never happened until.
It's cool that it's on Disney too.
It is, and that I actually watched an episode before I did the interview. It's interesting to see kind of how it merges internet culture, video game culture, and then the Disney kind of energy. Her kids' Disney XD is like this weird. It's not Disney Channel, but it's not for grown-ups. It's a very interesting spot, and I think it fits well there. I'm just curious about the longevity of that type of platform for them, but we'll see how it works out.
Shout out to our boy Barrett Courtney for helping on the back end of that show with the audio and the video stuff. So proud of that. Fucking so proud of that boy. God damn. Some other stuff. If you like Irrational Passions, you can rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher, and now Google Play. We are officially up on Google Play as of this week. I realized when our new show Input went up there, I was like, oh, are we on Google Play? We weren't, and submitted us and got us up real quick. So thank you for
Google's quick about that.
Yeah, thank you to them for just getting us approved through everything quickly. Check out the VG Evo podcast network that we are a part of, as well as Monthly Passions podcast and Input, a video games news show on IrrationalPassions.com. Episode 3 is out. If you haven't gone and listened to that show, you should, and rate and review it and everything. Twitch.tv/IrrationalPassions and YouTube.com/IrrationalPassions, where you can see the video stuff, edit streams, or on-demand video like this podcast you'll be able to watch after it's done. You can also watch it live on YouTube as well and participate and talk in the chat and everything. And if you like all this, you like the show, tell your friends. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the love. And for everything else, Irrational Passions, IrrationalPassions.com is the place to go. Now, it is time for bets. Tony?
Bets.
It's like pseudo-sexual. Max, we're going to make some dumb bets, and hopefully we're right. But
hopefully we're right.
We have two teams.
Yeah. I do want some clarity. Do you buy the winner a pizza?
No.
I hope so.
If we get entangled into a side bet situation, that could be one of the things that the winner of the side bet will get.
I hope I get some French fries out of this.
Yeah, right. I just want the pizza and French fries.
Maybe some imaginary cookie points, but
darn
it, dude.
I'm not sure. So this week's bet. So Max, we have two teams: Alex, myself, and Scott on Team Flaught, and Tony and Abishin are on Team BBC. Now, Team
BBC,
Flaught
like the network?
No.
What does it stand for this week, Tony?
It's a little too adult for this show.
Okay. Scott and I are 7 points behind Max, so usually by default we put you on the losing side so we get an extra better, but I can leave it up to you.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll follow the rules.
Sometimes if you're like Griffin, you're like, I'm going to fucking bet for the other boys. Whatever, I guess. This week's bet. What will the average review score of Agents of Mayhem, and I put in the bet, a totally unknown quantity from the creators of Saints Row, be on opencritic.com?
When does that game come out?
Comes out on Tuesday. So 4 days from today. Or 3 days from today, I guess. So August.
What will
15th.
the average be? So are we playing like Price is Right rules?
No,
like closest to the.
Just closest to. Full stop.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and type your answer in our little side chat here in the Hangout, and we'll give it a moment. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and hit send on that bad boy.
Which this chat. Got it.
Nice.
Me and Nabishin on the same wavelength.
So I bet 76 or 7.6, however you want to interpret that. Scott bet 61, which is a good bet. That's a low end, right? No, Tony's got the low end. Tony bet 52. Rough. I hope it's not that bad. And both Nabishin and Max bet 69. So if it is 69, then both teams get a point.
I think that's what the Scorefolition would want.
I mean, I would hope they would want to slightly.
Nah, they would want 69. They'd roll with the joke. They'd roll with the punches.
Sure, fair enough.
I've been seeing a lot of buzz about this game. Some like ads. Have you? Like IGN's got a lot of stuff running. I know Kotaku just put up a piece about stuff they love in the game. Like I'm hearing people like stuff in it. But also I heard people like stuff in Lawbreakers, and that already has reached below 1,000 players on Steam. So,
speaking of which, do you know where to see the active players on Steam?
I do not. I don't even know if that's built in. It might be a third-party website.
Yeah, let me see. Active.
Oh, what was that? I didn't even remember it.
There's Lawbreakers active players on Steam.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lawbreakers, I feel bad for Cliff, I guess. I don't know.
It's a Steam thing.
Yeah.
It is built in Steam?
Yeah.
Let's see.
I don't Steam it up.
It's not in the top 100.
It's not in the top 100. That is rough. Let me see.
I thought that game was gonna at least sell really well because when they announced it was gonna be $30. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Steam charts tracking what's played. Okay. Here we go. Good God. There are some like really intense chartings of video games.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
big
see.
business.
So read off the bet, please.
Last week's bet was how many concurrent players will Lawbreakers have on Steam this time next week, which would be the time when we read the.
Oh gosh.
So
who bet what?
Let's see. I bet 17,455.
Well,
yeah.
Scott bet 50,000. Tony bet 4,096. Nabishin bet 21,687, and Tyler, who is on Team Flop, bet 69,000.
Well,
concurrent players as of 1 hour ago is 1,611 players.
I'm so sorry.
The all-time peak was 7,482.
That's got to be devastating
on Steam. That is rough. So that means Tony.
Hi.
Takes the cake.
Hi.
Tony, that means you've won Danny Juarez's love and affection.
Thank God. How would I live without it?
Until this time next week when it is up for grabs once more. Yeah. Can we get him to do something for this?
No, we need Danny on the fucking show.
Yeah.
I need to know his opinions on stuff.
He has no way of recording a podcast.
I know. I'm just saying.
I'm not that
I
far
understand
away.
you're frustrated, but like, we'd have to ship him to Tony's bedroom and get them to snuggle up.
I need to know his opinion. If he's supposed to be part of our game of the year, I need to know his opinion on stuff. So
I know. I'd like to know where he's at.
Yes.
With stuff. I think that will be easier in the near future, but I'll talk to him. I'll see what he can do.
Sure.
Yo, American Truck Simulator has more players than Lawbreakers.
That's true. Tony, that means you also get the final word on anything we've talked about in the show. Anything you disagreed with, or you want to reiterate, or just a thing that you want to bring up and talk about, preferably relevant. But
Why would it have to be relevant?
I just said preferably, but go ahead. It is your time to shine. No one can disagree with you. This is you. This is you.
All right. I wasn't gonna do this.
Here we go.
But here we go.
I got bitches all on my dick,
Oh my gosh.
sucking on my balls, licking on my balls.
I hate you. I don't disagree with you, but I do hate you. That's it. That's the show. Thank you for coming on, Max.
Thank you for having me.
I hope you had a good time with our.
I did. This is what's the clock at? We've been doing this. It's not the longest podcast I've been a part of, so.
No, but I was on that one too.
That's true.
That was what your episode 100.
That
was like 3 hours or something.
That was a doozy.
Yeah.
But I survived. So Logan. I did it.
Now I'll send you this shirt that says I was on a 3-hour podcast and all I got was this stupid fucking shirt.
For real?
No.
Darn it.
Yeah, we should start making those for guests. And maybe if we were bigger, I could justify that.
You did just get paid.
True. Yeah, shit. All right, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening or watching along live. Thank you to Danny Wiesner for opening music of Two-Player Co-op and our closing music of The World is Saved. Thank you, Tony, Scott, and Option for joining me, as always. I love you guys. A winky face. And thank you, Max, again, for joining us.
Of course. Thank you.
Go check out Behind the Pixel, Millennial Game Speak, Model Citizens Podcast. All the good stuff that you're doing out there. And thank you all. Hey, take a minute. Thank you all for listening. If I'm gonna take a little second final word here. Just a brief
undermining my authority.
No, it's not about anything. It's just like, hey, if you're out there and you're really scared right now, you have absolutely every right to be. But I do vehemently believe that even if the United States of America is in an exceptionally uncomfortable position right now with the way some people in this country are behaving, I think we'll be okay, and I think we will get through this. And I just wanted to say that here so that you all know how we feel and that we're here for you, okay?
For sure. Acceptable.
Acceptable. Just because, man, things are at a boiling point.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay irrational. We will talk to you all next week. So you want to keep recording for this part, Max? So we're going to do some titles.
Titles. So we've got a Grill of Thrones, Goku getting his driver's license, Pizza Hut French fries, Alex dropping bombs, and Spread the Joy.
Who wrote
week one this week? Sorry.
It's okay. We had a lot of good discussions.
No, it's okay because there's only one obvious choice for title.
Who wrote this one, please?
Scott did. It's in his color, bro.
I color coded it.
I know.
What?
I just I didn't know if you were aware of the color coding or cared enough to do that.
I feel like Scott only cares about the color coding.
All right, Alex, you said it.
All right, now I said it.
Relevant.
Pizza Hut French fries is pretty good.
It's life-changing news. I mean, if I saw a podcast with that title, I'd click on it, no matter how long.
Exactly. It's clickbait to the max.
Oh, boo.
I mean, I love the pun Grill of Thrones, but I mean, if you want your listener base to go up, Pizza Hut French fries.
Yeah, you're right. Max, I'm gonna write down a thing that I'd like you to. And we're gonna cut this, put it at the beginning of the show. It's gonna be a whole good thing. Who wants to say the title? I mean, Tony, I think you have to. You brought this discovery to us.
I feel like I should be rewarded with Pizza Hut French fries.
You've enlightened us all.
Don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, if I was the host of this podcast, I'd buy him Pizza Hut French fries.
Exactly.
Oh my God, you guys are a terrible influence. I didn't put an important word in there, which is to. I can do that.
You're listening.
You're listening, Irrational Passion. When you're ready, Max, you can go ahead and say that highlighted bit. And you do it how you want to do it, you know?
Can I do it in sign language?
Nope.
It has to be an auditory medium, preferably. This is not an accessible show. I know.
All right. You're listening to the Irrational Passions podcast, episode 340. My God, that's a lot.
Pizza Hut French fries.
Yeah.
Do you think it'd be cool if like someone paid a sign language interpreter to like sign our show to them?
That would be really
God,
bad.
that sign language signer would be there for ever.
Like at least 4 hours. You can stop recording now.
I'd watch that. I wouldn't understand it, but I'd watch the whole thing.
Thank you everybody for watching. I'm gonna stop this video now.